Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special democracy-only broadcast of Golden VCR. Let's go. Ba 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 da ba 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 ba. That's right, you get to decide. You decide what we watch, you decide when we hit the bricks. We have 3 nominees already. I have polled in the Discord. We have several nominees, but I have taken the first 3, excluding Crayola because I have that one requires special setup and special plans. Let's get to our 3 nominees. We will vote on them. The winner will be the first tape we watch today. If you, at any point during today's stream, want to call a Hit the Bricks vote, just say that in the chat. I don't have any special commands for the democratic process. So, our first nomination was from Sifin Yamishi. It is tape number 537. No, wait. Tape number 537. Reader's Digest, Journey of a Lifetime, Australia to the Americas. I'm going to pull these up on the website so you can see them in all their glory. Australia to the Americas. This is tape number 537. It's from 2002. It is 57 minutes. We will see Australia, Hawaii, California / Arizona, New England, New York, and Christmas. So that's Australia to the Americas. West Coast Deb has nominated tape number 223, Amazing Birds of America, from the Questar video collection. Questar out of Chicago, Illinois. This one is 55 minutes. It's from 1999. It features Steve Maslowski, who I hope has a really great Chicago accent. His name is Steve Maslowski, after all. And this is from Questar. We will learn about over 150 species of birds in just 55 minutes from Amazing Birds of America. And our third, we're only going to vote on 3 at a time, so our third nomination, shout out to Aaron the Baron, who reminded us that Crayola Learn to Draw is very favorited and we've never watched it. We will have to get to that at some point. But Kiwi Lee has nominated Grimm's Fairy Tales video storybook. Kiwi says they watched a little bit. This is one that Kiwi sent in, so they watched it a little bit to make sure it worked and was the animation style was interesting. So this is 4 classics from the Brothers Grimm: Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, The Six Swans, and The Spirit in the Bottle, from 1992, or perhaps earlier. Oh, it's another Saban Entertainment. They're the same folks that brought us the Noozles in North America. So these are our 3 choices for today. I'm going to make a poll. I will hold these tapes up so you can remember which ones they are as we vote, and we'll see what we end up watching. And then in subsequent tapes, we can take more nominations. So, tape. That's going to be Australia to Americas, Amazing Birds, or Grimm's Fairy Tales. I will give you 60 seconds to vote. The poll has started now. Here are the 3 choices that you have. It can be Reader's Digest. It can be Birds. Or it can be Grimm's Fairy Tales. If there's a tie, I will generate a ghost that's like a bird fighting with Australia, and then whichever one appears to be winning in that image will be the one we go with. Oh, it looks okay. Grimm's Fairy Tales is in the lead, but only by 1. Amazing Birds is in a close second. Is someone going to snipe the tie? No, we did it. We successfully completed a poll. So, we're going to start out today with Grimm's Fairy Tales video storybook. This is a 90-minute tape. It is 4 distinct cartoons. So, if y'all feel like hitting the bricks or just pausing and coming back to it later, we can. Again, your voice matters. You're the ones in charge of that. So, feel free to call a vote if ever you feel like it. Oh. That is a bald eagle fighting with the official state bird of Australia, the rainbow VHS peacock. So here we go. Oh, this is from Star Maker. I didn't realize. Star Maker also has the Tom Sawyer tape that we haven't watched. Not to be confused with the Tom Sawyer tape that we did watch. I guess that is just NBC. Yeah. Huh. Well, here we go. Grimm's Fairy Tales video storybook. I believe we're starting with Little Red Riding Hood. And you can never believe the packaging. This may not be the actual art of the cartoon, but that just looks like the wolf from Nu Pogodi, the Soviet children's cartoon. Oh. Let's rewind this and begin recording. Notice to user. I thought that said laws of the United States of Arizona. I was briefly concerned. Perhaps I should have slept longer. Ding, ding, ding. DM. Okay, that's a great intro. Ooh. I think we might have Saban Entertainment already, but I don't completely remember. And I'm digging the CG action.
Hey, come along and join.
Oh, this is the. Oh yeah. This is the This aired on Nickelodeon in the 80s. If you've ever seen the famous clip of the frog that Thomas likes to use, that came from a home recording of this that I have. Okay, the song is so good. So this is an anime. This was like a Japanese cartoon that was another thing localized by Saban Entertainment in the 80s. Sorry, we gotta have the song.
Hey, come along and join the fun. It's a time for fairy tales, magical kingdoms in the sun. Come along, come along. Meet friendly elves and witches too, in the world of fairy tales. Enchanted castles wait for you. Come along, to where life is a fantasy, and every story ends so happily. This is the place where dreams come true, a world of fairy tales for you.
Yeah, the packaging is very generic. It didn't really attempt to connect to the branding of the localized version of the show. But yeah, so I was going through tapes from my mom's house years
There's
ago.
lots of seats here for everybody, so you can be healthy and strong and fill the air with your wonderful, happy songs.
And I found a
Don't be bashful. There's enough here
recording
for
of
everyone.
Nickelodeon that my parents had made in like 1988 or 89 or something.
Little Red Riding Hood, come here,
Because
dear.
apparently my
I'll
sister
be
liked
right
this
there,
show.
Mother. Enjoy your snack, little birdies. I don't want to forget my red hood. Ah. Here I am, Mama. What do you need?
Well, dear, I would like you to take a special little trip. Your grandmother is sick, and I have prepared a basket for you to deliver to her. Now, I want you to take this to her and see that she eats every single bit of it. If grandmother will listen to anyone, she'll listen to you.
Grandmother isn't expecting me. It'll be fun to surprise her. I won't be
Wait
long.
just 1 minute, young lady. I want you to remember something very important. Listen closely. You must not take any side paths in the forest or talk to any strangers.
Oh, that'll be easy for me, Mama, because all I'll be able to think about is my special mission.
Which is?
To deliver this basket so that Grandma will feel well enough to bake cookies with me. And I promise I'll make her eat everything.
I'm sure you will.
Bye!
Goodbye, dear, and be careful.
This show was known as Grimm
And
Masterpiece
Little Red Riding
Theater.
Hood gleefully set out for her
Grimm
grandmother's,
Mesakuge
whom she loved very
in
dearly
Japan.
indeed.
Hello there, ducks. I'm going to visit my grandma.
Little did she know that she would soon encounter some company of sorts. Yes, there was a very hungry wolf nearby who
Yeah,
had
I
eaten
don't
nothing
know
since he
if
awoke that morning.
I don't think
And you
Nick
never know when
Saban
a
is
very
related to
hungry
Haim
wolf might
Saban.
decide to eat.
You're a mere crumb to my hungry eyes. I need a meal, not a snack. So relax, you scrawny little rabbit.
Oh my god.
Aha! Come back here!
Oh, this wolf.
Gee, I must be losing my touch. I'm just not as quick as I used to be.
Yes, you are slow.
Huh? Well, that's lucky for you. You wait, I'll get you. No woodpecker's going to outsmart me.
This is making me feel bad for the wolf.
I knew I should have stayed in bed today.
For once the wolf was right. He should have stayed in bed that day. Nonetheless, unsuspecting Little Red Riding Hood continued merrily along her way.
Oh, how cute. 2 precious squirrels. Hi. You have a lovely baby, Mrs. Squirrel.
I'm sorry, but I do have to go back.
Used to be.
Yes, you are slow.
Huh? Well, that's lucky for you.
I have to get the yak, yak, yak.
You wait, I'll get you. No woodpecker's going to outsmart me. What? I knew I should have stayed in bed today.
All right, so yeah, the wolf. The wolf. It's Little Red Riding Hood. You know that.
Oh, how cute. 2 precious squirrels. Hi. You have a lovely baby, Mrs. Squirrel. Come see me, little one. Here.
Everyone loved Little Red Riding Hood. She would never pass by anyone without giving a polite and friendly greeting.
How are you, Mrs. Merriweather?
Ooh, voice actor facts.
Riding Hood, I'm wonderful, and you seem very happy.
I am, because I'm going to take a basket to my grandma's. Bye now, Mrs. Merriweather.
Bye, dear.
Little Red Riding Hood headed toward the woods, where the hungry wolf still had found nothing to satisfy his appetite.
They're really
No, not
fleshing out the
even
world.
flowers would do.
I like how they're ancillary characters.
One measly worm fills your appetite while I'm still starving. I've had enough of you. You stop it right.
Sorry, I just love the woodpecker's voice.
Headed toward the
I gotta
woods,
quit recording
where the
things
hungry
that I
wolf
never
still had
actually
found nothing
make
to
into
satisfy
alerts
his
because
appetite.
it's so very
No,
labor
not
intensive.
even flowers would do.
But at least I have the clips.
One measly worm fills your appetite while I'm still starving. I've had enough of you. You stop it right now.
I'm almost there. It won't be much farther now.
It should be easy to lure her over to me, especially since she's all alone on her little stroll.
I'm on
They
my
were
way
really
to Grandma's
setting up the wolf as a sympathetic character. Oh, I love that shot.
little
Round animating.
Oh, hi, Mr. Woodcutter.
Sorry if I frightened you.
I'm just glad you weren't a stranger. My mother warned me about them.
And where were you going?
I'm on a special mission to my grandma's house.
That sounds very important. Be careful, it can be dangerous around here.
Oh?
A hungry wolf has been sighted, so stay alert because they'll eat anything they can get their paws on. Let me walk you down the path.
Thank you.
It is true that a wolf,
Hungry? Sir, I'm starved.
like
This
a
woodcutter
wolf
has
being
no idea.
hungry,
I hope he doesn't
is
intend on staying
the only
with her because
plausible
I'll eat him
circumstance
too
in
if I
which a
have
wolf
to.
would try
Come
to
back
eat a
here with
human
my
being.
lunch. I can imagine what she'll do when she sees me. Hacha! Hacha! Hacha!
I kind of appreciate that it's not just universally
Dinner time has
demonizing
always
wolves.
been my favorite time of the day. And today I will spend it with my little
This
red
particular
brain.
wolf just
With
sucks
a
so bad
clever
at
approach
feeding himself.
And the right
He's
words to
become a danger.
say. Into the dark forest she will come with me today. I'll get her to trust me because I'll just pretend that all that I want is to be her good friend. After a while, I'll convince her we should. Go looking for flowers deep into the woods. Once my belly is full and fat, I'll lie down and take a nap.
God,
Hacha! Hacha!
the animation is so good.
Cha!
I must leave you now because I have to fell a tree down the path there.
Thank you for walking me this far.
Here the two parted company, and Little Red Riding Hood was grateful for the woodcutter's warning about the bad wolf. Do you suppose that wolf would remember some of his uncle's cunning lessons on how to trick little girls?
I see my tasty little meal is walking by herself. Now I can get my scrumptious lunch. But what if someone else comes along? I better think of a more subtle approach. I think I'm gonna do what my great uncle Wolfgang would do and try a disguise. He always said I could use my head. Little Red Riding Hood!
Who's there?
It's me, the good fairy of the forest!
Honest, a real fairy? But why can't I see you, Miss Fairy?
Don't sweet little girls like to play hiding games? Why don't you come and see if you can find me?
Where did you get that beautiful tail, Miss Fairy? I think you're just a silly wolf.
Who, me? No, I'm a very intelligent wolf.
How can I be sure you aren't that bad wolf I heard about?
Oh, no, no. I'm the nicest wolf in the forest.
I suppose I can trust you then.
Oh, yes. Of course you can trust me. But I have a big bad brother out there that even I'm afraid of. Now, if I were you, I'd stay right by me. Now, let's walk to your grandmother's house.
How did you know where I was going? Did the woodcutter tell you I was on my way to Grandma's?
Well, maybe I am some kind of a good fairy. I happen to know that grandmas love flowers. I know a spot with some beautiful flowers.
Is it on the main path?
I never stray too far away from the main path.
It sure would be nice to bring an extra special gift to my grandmother.
What a thoughtful idea, and I'll have a great feast.
Oh, what kind of feast are you talking about?
A real big celebration. We'll have a big surprise party at your grandma's house when she sees her beautiful flowers and basket.
Wait, I just thought of something.
You sure have a busy mind.
I want you to remember something very important, so listen closely. You must not take any side paths in the forest.
I'd better not go. I just remembered my mama told me I'm not allowed to take any side paths while I'm in the forest.
Oh, well, she wasn't using her head.
Don't talk that way about my mama.
I meant she must have been ready for bed. She was probably too tired to remind you to find some flowers to take to your grandma. Anyway, I am at your service.
I don't know.
Imagine your grandma's face when she sees the flowers.
These are for you, Grandma.
These are lovely, dear.
And if the bad wolf comes, I'll eat him. Meet him face to face and protect you, Little Red Riding Hood.
Mr. Wolf, I'm glad you're here and not your brother.
I'm even happier than you. If you only knew how happy I really am, my dear.
It will make my mother happy.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Besides, I won't tell if you won't.
Little Red Riding Hood had really begun to trust the wolf, and so into the woods they ventured, farther and farther. The smug wolf walked with pride, because he finally had Little Red Riding Hood right where he wanted her.
Oh. My mama wouldn't like this very much if she were here.
Don't worry, just think about your grandma.
Little Red Riding Hood was getting a bit nervous. The main path was no longer in sight.
It's dark and scary in these woods. I hope we find the flowers soon.
Oh, we will. Just a little further in and I'll be ready to satisfy my hungry appetite.
All you think about is eating.
I think I'm ready right about
I
now.
hope we find some daisies for my grandma. What are you doing? I'm glad you're having such a good time, but what are you doing?
I'm just working on my daily wolfercises. 1, 2. Don't you think I have great style and form?
You'd better stop your fooling around. I have a very long way to travel to get to my grandma's house.
What makes you so sure you're going to get there? Here I
The mushrooms! Ah, you're clumsy with those exercises.
I guess I need to exercise more often.
Well, practice makes perfect, you know.
Well, that's it. I've had enough of this game.
You mean you don't like to exercise?
What I mean is that I'm the bad wolf you've heard about, and I'm planning to have you as the main course for my lunch. You understand?
Stop.
Huh? Who is it?
And so the chase began. The hunter and his dog followed the wolf, but soon returned exhausted. The wolf outran them
Oh, the
both.
dog.
What are you doing way out here, young lady?
Well,
Come, get up.
I was going to Grandma's house.
Now you should know better than to be alone in these deep woods. Why didn't you stay on the main path?
Stop.
I'm sorry, but you came
I'm a
along,
dog.
so everything's all right
I
now.
love you.
Yes, well, you're very lucky.
Give me
Now,
the
is
gun.
that your grandmother's house over there in the clearing next to those 2 large oak trees?
Yes, it is. I want to thank you for your help.
I'm glad I was able to help. Now, I want you to be more careful. I don't want you venturing into these woods again. You know, it's always best to travel with a companion. Now, I have to take care of that wolf once and for all.
He has some foolish notion about hunting me down. Well, I've got news for him. He'll never find me up here. Huh? Hey!
None of them, not even Charlie the dog, knew that the wolf was lingering close by.
Glad we got the dog's name from the narrator.
And little did Grandma know that an unwelcome
Charlie.
visitor would soon arrive.
Is someone coming?
Yes, Grandma, it's Little Red Riding Hood. I brought you something.
Well, come in, darling. The door isn't bolted. Do you have a sore throat?
Yes.
Open the door and hurry in, my Little Red Riding Hood. Grandma can't wait to visit with you.
Here I come.
Is that you, dear? You'd better leave my home. You hear me? Go away. Somebody please help me.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Grandma's house at last.
But poor Little Red had no idea
It is,
she was
yeah,
about
it was
to enter into the hungry
Originally aired
wolf's
in
trap.
1987.
My Little Red Lunch is here. Yeah.
And it was localized by
He has no
Saban
idea
Entertainment
that I'm in
and
here.
aired on Nickelodeon
I can't wait to see Grandma.
in the U.S.
She'll be so surprised.
Poor Little Red Riding Hood was in for quite an unpleasant surprise.
I wonder why the door's open. That's strange.
Huh?
May I please come in? Are you there, Grandma?
Now what do I do?
Grandma, can you hear me? Should I just come right in?
No. Oh, I can't wear this.
Why doesn't she answer me? I sure hope nothing's happened to poor Grandma. Hi,
Still
Grandma.
wearing his
How are you?
Walmart greeter vest.
Oh, it's so nice to see you, my dear. Come over here and stand by me.
Still sick, Grandma? Well, I've brought something to make you well again.
Just come closer, dear.
Oh, Grandma, you don't look good at all. Let me see your eyes and check your throat. Your eyes look swollen. I wonder what's wrong, Grandma.
It's just a bad cold, dear, that's all.
Well, Grandma!
Is something on your mind, dear?
Those don't look like your ears, Grandma. What's wrong with them?
My ears?
And what happened to your hands, Grandma?
They are a little swollen, aren't they? I'm sure it's just because of my cold, but I know I'll feel better once I've eaten a good hearty meal.
Hungry?
Yeah.
I've got
Come
just
here.
what you need. How about some of Mama's soup? It's delicious. I promised Mama that I would make sure you ate all this soup, Grandma, so you would get better.
Oh.
I'd rather eat you, dear. My mouth is watering already.
Bye!
Yeah, get him.
Somebody! Oh no! Oh, please don't hurt me!
Now I've got you.
Oh my!
My appetite has waited just about long enough.
Take this for your appetite! And this! And this!
Oh.
And this!
Good appetizer.
Eat all of them, just don't eat me!
Sorry, my dear, I'm not a vegetarian. Aha! Ah, delicious. Well, Uncle Wolfgang, I used my head, but maybe I shouldn't have swallowed them down whole.
I wonder if
I'll
there
take
was
a little nap
originally
now.
a scene that they cut out. Because there was an awkward fade there.
So you see, the wolf's hunger was finally satisfied, for he had actually swallowed Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother whole. Ah, but you will soon see that the story isn't over
We
yet.
get the version of this. I was wondering if we would get
sounds suspicious.
what level of violence we would
Be
get in the
prepared for
story.
something big, Charlie.
Yes, even Charlie
Getting the
sensed
one where they
trouble
cut the
ahead.
wolf open. But all the humans survive.
Now we're closing in on it. Wait, that snore's coming from Little Red Riding Hood's grandma's house. Let's go investigate, Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Here, come on, follow me. Over this way. Come on, boy. Can anybody in there hear me? I think I'd better try the door. It was left unlocked. I don't like the looks of this at all.
Thank goodness the hunter had arrived. Now perhaps he could rescue Little Red
Please get us out of
and
here!
her grandmother.
Oh dear, oh my.
This is the hunter, and I'm going to get you both out of there. It's a good thing the wolf swallowed both of you whole. I won't kill the wolf. I'll just teach him a lesson so he'll never do anything like this again.
Hey, thank you for the 7-month resub. Good to have you here.
I love you so, Red Riding Hood.
I love you, Grandma.
We're safe now.
Oh, I just
man,
remembered I have to do something with that bad wolf.
They didn't animate any of the violence. How did he do that? How did he get them
I
out?
have an idea. No doubt he'll feel hungry when he wakes up, so we need to collect a lot of stones and fill his entire stomach with them.
I think in the original, the woodsman slices him open with an axe.
Must be having a bad dream. My lunch must have come back to haunt me. Oh, it's probably
is that a scar?
indigestion from swallowing them whole.
Yeah, the woodsman stitched him back up.
Over here.
Thank you, Becca.
The wolf didn't know what came over him, but one thing is for sure, those stones gave him such indigestion that from that day on, he would think twice before eating anything.
Jeez, that's kind of that's some human centipede shit. Like that's some real body horror, psychological torture stuff.
Grandma,
That'll
I'm
make
sorry
him
for
think
all this
twice
trouble.
about eating.
If I had obeyed, none of this would ever have happened. Will you ever forgive me?
Everything's fine now, dear. I feel much better just having you here with me.
You're better, Grandma?
Yes.
I'm so happy.
Oh.
And so the day ended happily, for not only did Little Red
Oh,
Riding Hood
Charlie.
and the wolf each learn a lesson,
Kitty.
but Grandmother was feeling much better, and that was the best part of all.
get an instrumental. I have to grab that.
For not only did Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf each learn a lesson, but Grandmother was feeling much better, and that was the best part of all.
Song. I'm curious what the original. Oh, we get more. Saban really wanted to make sure their branding was all over this.
Hey, come along and join the fun. It's a time for fairy tales, magical kingdoms in the sun.
Come along. Meet friendly elves and witches too, in a world of fairy tales. Enchanted castles wait for you. Come along.
To where life is a fantasy,
And every story ends so happily. This is a place where dreams come true. A world of fairy tales for you.
Once upon a time, in a far-off land, a blight fell on the fields of wheat, and starvation threatened the people.
Looks like we're in for some more impressive hand animation.
A woodcutter who had come in search of wheat for his family turned sadly away for the long journey home.
The fields were completely ruined. It was a terrible sight to see. What's to become of us, wife? How are we ever going to be able to feed our dear little children?
We can't. There's barely enough for the two of us. Husband, listen to me. It is not my intention to die of starvation. We'll take them for a walk in the forest, make sure they don't come back.
What? Unbelievable! I won't allow you to even think such a thing!
No reason to get upset, dear. Of course I was only joking. I wouldn't do anything to harm my dear little stepchildren, although I will admit they could show me a little more affection than they do. I'm the soul of kindness to Hansel and Gretel, a perfect stepmother.
Be about your business then and leave me to do mine. Somehow I shall find food to fill our stomachs.
I love how in
I don't, we'll
all
all starve
European
together.
folk tales, stepmothers are sociopaths.
Where are we going, stepmother?
We're on our way to look for wild strawberries, and I want you two brats to help me, so be quiet.
Let's rest here before we go on.
Will the two of you quit whining? I know those strawberries are around here somewhere, and I'm going to go find them. You wait here.
Very well, stepmother.
Yeah, I'm surprised they gave Hansel and Gretel names instead of calling them Child 1 and Child 2.
It's just as I feared. We've been deserted in the forest. She hopes the wild animals will get us. There will be food for them.
Yes.
They did hear her whole plan and nevertheless stood there for
We're saved.
8 straight hours.
By the silvery moon. Look.
Huh? The road. The road is sparkling.
Uh-huh. See? I knew that we couldn't trust her, so I was ready. I made a trail of these rocks that I picked up in the garden.
Oh.
Our father's going to be worried. Hurry.
Well, well, now that those two brats are finally gone, only us to feed.
Good, we're back.
I don't understand this. How in the world did the two of you ever find your way out of that forest? I was so sick with worry about you, I wasn't able to eat my meager supper.
So, did you bring back any berries?
No. We were too involved in finding our way back home.
We're ever so sorry.
Now, as your punishment, you won't get any supper. Go to bed.
Where's father, ma'am?
He's going to be away for just a little while. He's a family man, I'll give him that. He went to visit a friend who might have some flour for us. Your father could be gone for a long while, so it's going to be just the three of us.
Just the three of us. I can kill you if I try. Just the
Are you
three
going to
of
sleep all
us.
day? Today you're going to go and get the wild strawberries that you didn't bring back yesterday.
But the weather, it's so very dry. I don't think we'll be able to find any strawberries.
That is because you don't know how to look for them. Now back into the woods, the both of you.
Lady, it's November.
You'll probably need the whole day. You're so slow. This bread has to last you
Not
until
even
we eat
strawberry
again.
season.
Now don't drag your heels.
We'll be right there.
You had better get a move on, Hansel. I'm warning you.
Yes.
Stay right behind us. You two look around here. I'll go look that way. Be sure to keep looking. I want that basket full.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been led a lot further into the woods than we were yesterday, Gretel.
Were you able to bring anything today to show us the way back home, Hansel?
I marked the way with the loaf of bread that our stepmother gave us, Gretel.
Great, now we'll
You might
starve.
just as well eat the last piece. It's a good idea. We will simply pick it up and eat it as we go back home. See?
Oh, how very clever you are, Hansel.
Yes, you're right. Let's go.
Oh!
What are you doing? You thief! I'll teach you. They ate it all up. The bread is gone completely.
What do we do? How will we ever find our way back home?
We better just head back and try our best. Come on. Be strong, Gretel.
Oh, he's a little chocobo.
I'm so tired.
Me too. We're lost. I'm very hungry.
Yes, and more than that, I'm beginning to shiver from the cold.
Good weather for strawberries.
Oh, Crumbsy.
I'm back early. Where are the children?
The children, well, they went outside to play, and I haven't seen them since. Oh, husband, I've been so worried about them.
You're a wicked, wicked woman. Where are my children?
Husband, I'm sorry. I didn't imagine you'd be back so soon with food for all of us.
Hansel! Gretel!
Gretel, hold on!
Hansel! Hansel, save me! Hansel,
Huh? Gretel, wake up. We are alive. I wonder where we are, Gretel.
Hansel, look at that bird. Isn't it beautiful?
Huh?
Is that a Pokemon?
I've never seen a bird like that before. Gretel, that bird's too beautiful not to belong to someone.
Its owner surely lives nearby.
Oh, that means that he wants us to follow. He's landing, Gretel.
What a beautiful house, Hansel.
Yes, come on, let's go see if we can go inside.
What kind of building codes do they have?
Really real?
Yes,
in
a house
this
made entirely
Teutonic
of good things
forest?
to eat. Candy cane posts, and upon my word, sponge cake walls.
These have a lovely smell. Biscuits fresh from the oven.
It's amazing we found our strawberries at last. The roof's decorated with strawberries and cream. So, there doesn't seem to be anyone around.
We're alone.
Oh, just one little bite?
One bite. Just one little bite.
Let's eat. Yum, yum.
Oh no, Green Deer.
The more delicious.
You're a Piggly Wiggly.
With both your hands full of goodies, you're a fine one to talk.
Yes, you're right. Oink. Oink.
That really sucks. I'm sure you'll bounce back, but it's a real gut punch. Just a friendly reminder to everyone that your employment status
Children, my magic house is all over
is
your
not a
face.
reflection of your worth as an individual.
Yes, I too like good things to nibble on. It's been many and many a year since I had the pleasure of little children. I mean the pleasure of a visit. Why don't you come inside and make a sweet old lady happy?
All in favor?
Oh, Hansel, roast turkey with all the trimmings and bunches of bananas and juicy apples. There's fresh baked bread and milk. I've never seen such a wonderful feast in my entire life.
Eat up, children, and please, no holding back.
Yay! Drumstick.
Slice of white meat. Oh, Hansel, it's also
These children are going to grow up
You
being
really are a sweet old lady.
completely unable to trust any adults.
To show our appreciation.
Because all the adults that
very
they
sweet
encounter
of
are
you.
terrible to
I
them.
could use some help around the place.
And
My
try to kill
eyes.
them.
They become so terribly weak. Stay here tonight. There's plenty of room. And tomorrow I shall make you even more delicious things to eat.
Every older woman in this story wants to murder the children. It's almost like there's some sort of bias against older women in medieval European folk traditions.
I'll be. But that bird's the same beautiful bird as before.
Good recipe. It's been many a year since I cooked up a live human child. My tummy can't wait. And it was you who brought them to me.
Orb a bird. Oh.
Please help! That woman's a witch!
She has elf ears.
Tommy!
Gretel! Gretel! Wake up! Wake up! We've got to flee! That woman is a witch! Hurry!
Okay, I do have to agree with what Haley said earlier. The hands are remarkably well drawn and well animated. Like the character animation in general is great. Really, really competently illustrated.
Never get away! You're doomed, Marty!
No, Gretel!
Something smells splendidly delicious. Give in! You haven't got a chance!
Get away!
There's no end to my powers!
This is
Go hide! I'll make her chase me! Hey, catch me if you can!
I did not expect a climactic anime battle scene.
I knew you're there! Huh? What a bony arm! In these big old ears, you sounded like a reasonably plump boy!
Huh?
I prefer my little children nice and meaty. Before I put you in the boiling water, I'm going to fatten you up.
Gretel!
Gretel, you are going to be my chief cook and bottle washer for the rest of your life. Now go and fetch
She has all of this magic, but she can't just, like, summon the water up out of the well. She has to enslave a child to do it for her. So she's a feeder.
With all he's been eating, Hansel should be quite nicely fattened up by now. All right, let's feel your finger.
Huh?
Your finger, I said!
Huh? My finger? Here.
It smells very delicious already. Huh? A bag of bones you aren't ready
The finger bones. Dun,
You
dun.
had better fatten yourself up quickly. Go!
Oh boy, what a clever idea that is. I wish now I'd learned to use the tools better.
I can't wait until I kill this witch.
Plenty of good food to build up your energy. Quick, run! Hurry!
What are those most horrible noises in my big ears? They are certainly not those of a little boy eating.
Sounds? Well, my teeth, they grind badly.
Noisy teeth! When I had my teeth, they never made such unpleasant noises.
You had teeth?
Huh? What is that I smell? You're hiding Gretelly here, aren't you?
Run!
It's no use, Hansel. There's no place to run to. Now you're using your head. There is no escape, is there? The badly grinding teeth. I'll teach you a lesson, young lady. Ha! A lesson you'll not forget.
I won't let you hurt my sister.
Oh my god. Ooh, this is getting exciting. This is some Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie stuff.
Grinding teeth.
I didn't want to miss this.
I'll teach you a lesson, young lady. Ha! A lesson you'll not forget.
I won't let you hurt my sister.
Let go my throat. Is that your arm? Plenty of meat on the boy's body.
Hey, thanks for the sub.
You've been playing tricks, eh?
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, those poor dogs. What is he gonna do to that spaniel? Alright, I didn't want to miss any of the cool climactic battle scene.
I won't let you hurt my sister.
Let go my throat. Is that your arm? Plenty of meat on the boy's body last.
She's going to eat me.
You've been playing tricks, eh?
I can imagine that this might be terrifying if you were 4 years old when you watched this.
The oil seems to be just about perfect. Is the oven ready?
Ooh, it's a good old
Planning to bake cookies or me?
Cajun crab boil with children.
Again in a nice hot oven.
I'm allergic to fire.
I'm allergic to fire.
Don't be afraid of the flames, my dear. How could you possibly think that I'd want to dine on a roasted human girl child?
Go in there, you're bad. I beg you, please put me down.
The oven's ready, my pretty. Come and get me. Oh, I can hardly wait.
It's not even her final form. This is the most action-packed and exciting telling of Hansel and Gretel I've ever seen. I did not know they could make it this good.
It's all over now, Gretel.
This is like the cutscenes in a PS1 RPG. This is like if Chrono Trigger were a Grimm's fairy tale. The other way around. I love just passing out in a river.
Father used to always bring us to play.
And waking up
You're absolutely right,
on a swan
We're back home.
instead of drowning.
It's really over.
Oh, my children are back.
Papa! Oh, Papa!
Papa!
Oh, I'm so happy to see you and to know that you are safely home again.
Where's stepmother?
Children, your stepmother has abandoned us, but truthfully, we're better off because of it. My marrying her was one of the worst mistakes I ever made. But let's not talk about her anymore. The good news is, because of all the rain, we're going to have a fine harvest this year. The bad experiences are behind us forevermore.
Oh, Father.
The bad experiences are behind us forevermore. Is a great quote. I made a poll. We're halfway through this tape. If you want to get the other 2 episodes, we can watch them right now, or we can save them for later. Oh. Hey, come along and join the fun. It's the time for fairy tales, magical kingdoms in the sun. Come along, come along. We're watching them now.
Friendly elves and witches too.
In a world of fairy tales, enchanted castles wait for you. Come along, come along.
To where life is a fantasy, and every story ends so happily. This is the place where dreams come true. A world of fairy tales for you.
Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a king who had a great passion for hunting.
Keep up with me! Faster, men, faster! Don't let him get away from us! He's heading straight for the forest. Let's go!
Sturdy hog.
Please wait, Your Highness! Wait! Your Highness, the forest is dangerous! Come back!
But the king rode so fast, no one could keep up with him, and he found himself all alone deep in the forest.
What I've learned from Anglo-Norman history is that the primary danger of the forest for a king is being murdered by your brother and having everyone call it a hunting accident.
I can't see the sky. I'm really lost. I've got to find my way home. Is somebody out there?
All your troubles will be over. Ha! There's no need to be afraid.
Tell me, please, kind lady, do you know a way out of this forest?
Another old
Of
hag.
course, Your Highness. I have lived here in this forest for all of my life.
Very good.
If you show me the way out of here, I'll give to you anything that you might ask of me.
Well, there is one little thing that I have in mind that you can do to make an old lady happy.
Tell me what I can do to make you happy.
Well, I know you're lonely since your queen died, and my daughter's as fair as any in the land. Make my daughter your bride, and I will gladly show you the way out of the forest, Your Majesty.
But I have not even met her.
Why, she's at her home. Right over there!
Yeah, he could have just promised her $20.
And lo and behold, there appeared a beautiful, sparkling castle in the woods.
20
the king
ducats.
could hardly believe his eyes. Oh! It glistened with stars.
It is such an honor to meet you, Your Highness.
Oh, no. The honor is all mine, fair maiden.
Well, what do you think? She'd make a fine wife?
Well, your daughter is certainly a most beautiful lady. But there's something strange about her eyes.
She looks like an Art Nouveau illustration, like an absinthe
Marry
advertisement.
my daughter and grant me my wish, and then I will show you the way out of the forest. She will bring great pleasure to you and your family.
What shall I do?
Or would you prefer instead to stay imprisoned in the forest for all of eternity?
You leave me no choice. I will marry her.
Ha! It's done then.
Long live the king and queen!
These, political marriages in
On his
back in
wedding
the
day,
day.
the king presented the queen to his children.
My dear children, greet your new mother.
What lovely
These were
children.
always
How
marriages
pleased
of
I am
like
to be
political
among you.
alliance.
This
What
is
does this
your new
give the
mother
king?
now. You must make her welcome.
A strategic
What is
alliance
wrong
with
with
the
you?
trees.
They must be shy. I just know we're all going to get along. Would you like to give your mother a kiss? Well, what about you? Don't be afraid. And you? Or you?
What? Do you mean me?
Well, I'm not kissing her.
Oh, she looks mean.
You?
She does.
You mean me?
You imbeciles! How dare you defy me? Do as your mother says.
Oh, I'm afraid.
That's enough. You children may be excused.
She'll never be our mother.
I don't like her.
Your children are all so charming.
Is everyone in the court the king's child?
And that night the king retired to his study with a very heavy heart. He was deeply disturbed. And while the children slept, the queen wandered throughout the castle, casting her shadow, spreading her evil.
Cleavage. Stick. Why is she doing these things, though? What is her motive?
The king became alarmed and ran to see if his children were safe in their beds.
No, she put an oil slick on the floor.
But safety was not to be found that night.
Please, my daughter, wake up!
What?
Children, watch out! All of you stand back here next to me. I'll take care of you.
You have a sword, dude.
Children, run away! Quick! The guards will destroy
He's
it!
smashing a chair over his head like it's WCW. This is great.
Getting away! It's heading for the forest!
I love love how much action we're getting in these.
Are you children all right?
Yes.
You'll be safe now.
But, Father, it was so frightening. That awful monster was just about to eat me.
Tell me, how did that giant snake make its way into our bedroom?
When I had firmly closed the windows.
Will it come back, Father?
Not if I can help it.
The children are afraid of a snake?
What? I shouldn't have agreed to the marriage.
Are you sure you'll be all right, Father? What should we do?
I think it would be a very good idea if all of you children went to stay in our castle in the forest for a little while.
Not the forest.
And so the next day, the king and his
Nobody can
family
put two and
rode
two
into the
together.
forest.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see this works.
Oh, this yarn weaver is going to guide us to the castle. What fun!
Without this spindle, no one will ever find you, especially the queen. I will be the only one to visit you.
Father, promise us you won't ever invite her to the castle, all right?
And not for any reason whatever, sir.
You have my promise, just as she had my promise to make her my queen when I was trapped in the forest. It was my only way out, and kings cannot break their promises to anyone, even witches.
She's trying to
Unbeknownst
murder your
them,
children.
The queen was brewing up a magic spell.
Probably like imprison her
Cadabra, cadabra,
at the very least.
Show me your evil magic ways and lead me to do what I must do.
And with her magic needle, the queen began to sew 7 magic shirts with which to cast her evil.
Bird.
When the king returned to his castle in the village, he hid his spindle in a safe place.
This is the 6
Meanwhile,
swans.
back at the castle in the woods,
Father is here. What? Did somebody say Father's come back?
A German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm in
dear.
1812.
the evil is revealed.
What happened to our father?
I've made some gifts for you, children.
No! Quick, brothers, run!
Hurry! Here!
Oh, brothers, help me!
So the 6 handsome princes were turned into 6 lovely swans.
And with this, the kingdom belongs to me. Now I will return back to the king and be the most powerful woman in the land. Ha!
But in her haste, the queen forgot to count the swans and overlooked the princess.
Huh? Is it you, Father? Huh? Can it be?
I got bird raptured.
And later, on a dark and stormy night,
Oh, my poor brothers, where are you?
the princess walked and walked and walked until she could walk no more.
Oh, my. I'm afraid I'll never see my brothers again. Oh, it's the swans. My brothers, is it really you?
Yes, it is, dear sister.
Oh, but how did you get to be like this?
We were changed into swans through an evil spell cast by the wicked queen. I'm afraid we'll never be humans again.
Oh, no, but there must be something to stop this evil spell that's been put upon you.
That evil witch has made it very hard.
Nothing is too hard if I can help my brothers. I'll do anything I must do. You just have to tell me anything, whatever it might be.
There's only one way, but it will be a great strain on you, sister. It means for 6 years you will be obliged never to speak to anyone or laugh out loud.
And during that time, you must sew 6 shirts made from chrysanthemum flowers, and if you let one word fall from your lips, all your work will be to no avail.
Yes! I will, my dears. I will do all of those things to save the brothers I love. For 6 years, I will not utter a sound or laugh, and
I'll sew 6 shirts out of flowers for you, and I give you my solemn promise I will break the spell by doing all of this for you. You can depend upon me, my brothers.
I'm afraid we must go now, my dear sister.
Oh, are you leaving? Goodbye, brothers!
See you in 6 years!
You can count on me. I promise I will be waiting.
Yeah, it's swan magic, I guess.
As the seasons changed, the princess kept her promise, talking to no one, nor laughing out loud, sewing chrysanthemum shirts day in and day out through each passing season.
Well, what is it? Up there in the tree, sire, it appears to be a young maiden sitting. So there is. Young lady, what on earth are you doing up there? Don't you know it's dangerous? Come down from here before you hurt yourself.
Yeah, this is a Grimm.
She's beautiful. She is very lovely.
Number 49. She suddenly got more animated.
Please help her down and be very careful not to hurt her. She looks fragile. Will you let us assist you?
The prince took the silent princess back to his castle and made her his bride.
Why do you spend all your time sewing? Now that you're my wife, you don't have to do that for yourself. We have many
really
servants
treasure
who can
our
do that
connection.
for you. Now, can't you just stop sewing for
And
one
our
day
chemistry.
for me?
Woman who has never spoken to me.
It must be very important. But why won't you ever talk to me or laugh or even smile at me? You know you can always trust me. Oh, it's all right. Don't worry, dear.
guess
I'm
this
just
is
happy to have you as my wife.
This is a time where a lot of people were
6
illiterate.
years, you must sew us 6 shirts made from
But
chrysanthemum
I feel like the
flowers.
nobility would be able to write
And
a
if
message.
one word falls from your lips, all of your work will have been for nothing.
Another season passed, and the princess kept her vow of silence and continued to sew.
A prince is born! A prince is born!
We have an heir for the kingdom!
So they've never spoken.
From a nearby kingdom has arrived to present her blessings to the baby.
The witch!
She just spoke!
Brothers into swans. Why
You
is she
just
here?
spoke! Quit speaking!
We are honored to have you celebrate with us on this most joyous occasion.
Yeah, her mouth is flapping.
Why, what a pretty princess and such a beautiful child you have. Allow me to bestow upon you my blessings for a long and happy life to you both. May I hold the child? My little one. Aren't you happy to see me?
No.
Don't be shy. I know you won't talk or laugh in this kingdom. I know all about it, and I know that it won't do you any good. Now that I found you, there's nothing you can do to save your brothers, so you might as well give it up and talk to me. And I'll tell you something else, dear princess. It's about your father. He's dead. Now forget this stupid silence, because it won't do you any good at all to fight me. Go ahead, why don't you talk? Or shall I cut out your stupid little tongue? You see, when your father had learned of his children's death, his heart collapsed. Why don't you have a good cry about it and break your silence? You'll feel better. Come on now, dear. Surely you can shed some tears of grief for your mother.
Father dead? It can't be true. No.
Oh no!
Come back here next to me.
I will not let her harm my child. Never.
But later that night,
Prince, come quick! Something terrible has happened!
It's another giant snake.
How horrible! How could she have eaten her newborn? This princess is a witch. She must be destroyed at once.
She's a witch? Not the princess.
You can't be speaking the truth.
I'm a queen, and we queens never lie. Why don't you just ask her yourself? Tell us, princess, why did you kill your baby?
Please, dear one, tell me the truth. Where is our child? Our child!
Such a sitcom-style mishap.
Prince, I know this is difficult, but there is only one way to destroy a witch. You must hurry and make the arrangements, or else this witch will destroy your entire kingdom. You must burn her at the stake right away.
Never.
But my prince, you can see the blood on her lips, and besides, she doesn't deny it.
Prepare the fires to burn head no.
My dear beloved, please speak to me. Tell me what you've done to our precious son.
What a shitty prince. He just lets this woman walk into his kingdom and give people orders.
And kept her silence.
Burn the witch!
Oh, my brothers, I'll be true to you, even though it means my death.
Goodbye, brothers!
No, what did we just tell you about not speaking?
I'll be waiting for your return, I promise!
It's been 10 seconds and you're already talking.
The end is near, I fear.
Hey, congrats on bingo.
Torch the stake!
She's yelling, though. You don't yell in your internal monologue.
Oh!
I mean, in the flashback. Green Day. Congrats on winning bingo. Thanks to you.
Oh, my brothers, you're back!
Today marks the 6th year of the promise that you made to us.
I love
You
the
have
character
saved us,
designs.
my dear sister.
Like, they aged them all.
It's all over?
Mm-hmm. Yes, my sister.
And I can speak and no harm will come to any of you?
Thanks to you and your devotion.
Listen, the woman before you is really an evil witch. She turned me and my brothers into swans, then killed my father and took over his kingdom. She is the one who's responsible for all this.
Burn her at the stake.
True.
Burn her at the stake. Burn her at the stake.
Oh, my baby!
Burn the witch. Burn the witch. It's not often that you get to enjoy
the baby that you threw into the forest.
medieval
We found him
thrill
and kept
of
him alive. You are the witch and should be
the
destroyed.
mob mentality of wanting to kill a witch.
You're to blame for all of this.
Kill the witch. Kill the witch.
Men, don't let her get away. Release your weapons.
Kill the witch. She's allergic to fire.
I'm burning! Oh, help!
And once more,
this is great.
peace was restored to the happy kingdom.
Thank you so much, good sir.
We must return to our kingdom, but we go joyously knowing our sister is happy.
You will always have our royal gratitude and respect.
And you, in turn, will always have our brotherly love.
Thank you.
This is the happiest day of my life. Goodbye, my brothers.
Goodbye, my sister. Goodbye, my friend.
The moral is don't trust
And they all
witches.
lived happily ever after.
All right, well, there's one more, so we may as well finish. It is the spirit in the bottle. Everyone sing. Hey, come along and join the fun. It's a time for fairy tales, magical kingdoms in the sun. Come along, come along. Meet friendly elves and witches too, in a world of fairy tales. Enchanted castles wait for you. Come along, come along. Life is fantasy, and every story ends so happily. This is the place where dreams come true. A world of fairy tales for you. It's a really catchy song.
Once upon a time, a wizard trapped an evil demon inside a magic bottle and hid the bottle in the depths of the forest where he hoped it would never be found. On the outskirts of the forest lived John the woodcutter and his son Frederick.
I know you want to go to school, son, but schools are expensive.
We have seen this, yeah.
After I graduate, I'll be making lots of money and you won't have to work anymore.
No, your education is just going to have to wait. As it is, I can barely afford to pay for our clothing and food. I can't even afford to buy another axe, which I sorely need. So how can I send you to school?
By working together. I'll work with you every day, Father. Work from sun up to sundown, and then when we go to town, you'll have twice as much wood to sell. And by the end of the summer, we might have earned enough to pay for my schooling.
Yes, we might. We'll borrow an axe from our neighbor and start first thing tomorrow. I'm proud of you, son. Your willingness to work hard for what you want is a sure sign of just how much you've grown up.
You should be proud of yourself, Father. You've taught me everything I know, and when I graduate from school and start earning a good living, I'll prove how grateful I am by giving you all the wonderful things that money can buy.
But first you'll have to learn how to use an axe.
I'm ready when you are.
So many swans. That does look exactly like the...
Move, son, quickly!
You chopped it down so fast, you must be awfully strong, Father.
Not like I used to be. Phew, my back is killing me. I used to work all day long without an ache or a pain, but those days are gone forever.
I never realized how hard you worked, Father. If you ask me, the townfolk aren't paying you enough. Let's have lunch. You can rest a while.
You're right. I could use a bit of rest at that. Here, this is yours.
Thank you, Father. Here, Father. Take this. I don't need this much.
You should eat it, son. If not, you won't be able to go on. Remember, we're both working until sundown.
I won't get tired. I'm just going to take a little walk in the woods and look around.
We're not here to take walks, son. We're here to work. If you go off playing in the woods, you'll be too tired to work this afternoon. Frederick, come back.
Don't worry, I won't go that far. I'll be back in a few minutes. What beautiful birds they are.
Help! Let me out of here!
Huh? I thought I heard a voice just now. Hello? Is anyone there? Oh, well, guess not.
Help me! I'm over here!
Where?
Not over there! Over here! Look to your left and you'll see a giant oak tree. I'm down at the bottom, stuck between the roots. Clear away the leaves and you'll see me.
A talking bottle?
Let me out! Will you help me?
Oh, he's so cute.
Please!
You poor little thing, of course I'll help you. I'll let you out of there right now. Oh, how did you get so big?
I thank you for letting me out. Your kindness shall not go unrewarded. I am in your debt and deeply grateful.
Oh, wonderful. What's to be my reward?
You've been so kind, I'll swallow you whole instead of eating you in little tiny bites.
Oh, no!
Yum. Oh, yes. We've got to follow the rules. And I assure you that according to the rules, anyone foolish enough to let me out of the bottle has got to be eaten.
Get away from me!
Goodbye, little boy.
Wait a minute, I was the one who let you out of that little bottle. You can't eat me, that wouldn't be fair.
I'm sorry, fellow, but I gotta follow the rules just like everybody else does.
But I taste awful, you'll get indigestion.
Troublemaker, huh?
I am not a troublemaker. I don't mind being eaten by a real spirit, but how do I know you are what you say you are, not some kind of phony?
Are you blind? You were the one who released me from the bottle. You saw it with your own eyes.
But how do I know it wasn't some sort of trick? If you're really a spirit and can make yourself so small, you'll have to prove it to me by going back inside that bottle. If you can do that, you can eat as much of me as you like.
Real nice of you.
I can't force you to do anything you don't want to do, but if I were you, I would feel obligated to prove that I was a real spirit.
This kid's pretty quick on his feet,
not
huh?
me.
Well then, if it's proof you want, just watch this.
Ready?
This is the bottle, right?
Certainly is.
You see, now are you satisfied? Hey, let me out!
Outwitted you, didn't I?
That's not fair! You cheated! You tricked me!
You've forgotten that you tricked me before I tricked you, and turnabout's fair play. Besides, if I let you out, you'd make a meal of me in no time.
You mean you really thought that I was going to eat you? I was only joking. I'm much too nice to do anything like that.
Really? How do I know you're telling the truth?
I'll make you a solemn promise. Please have a heart, and I'll give you anything you want. I mean it.
This just goes on back and forth for 15 minutes.
Please, please, I feel like I'm suffocating.
Okay, let's make a deal. Before I let you out of this bottle, you have to promise to never harm any human being ever again. Do you solemnly swear?
Solemnly, I do swear.
I believe you.
But why, though?
Thank you. Let me repay you. As a token of my appreciation and gratitude, here, this is a very special magical cloth. Rub it on any sort of metal and that metal will instantly become silver. And silver's worth a great deal of money.
Did you say anything metal I rub with this cloth will become silver automatically?
Absolutely right, my friend. You're going to become a very wealthy young man. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to stretch my legs. I haven't been able to take a good walk for over 400 years. Bye.
All I have to do is rub. Great! Rub the cloth on metal and it becomes silver. That's fabulous! Father! Hey, Father!
You won't believe
Where
the
have you
demon I
been,
just
son?
met.
You were gone for a very long time. I was becoming worried.
Gee, I'm sorry. Father, something wonderful just happened to me. There was this really big tree and buried under
If you
the
have
leaves.
a story to tell, I'll listen to it later. Right now, we have work to do. Come along, don't dawdle.
Don't trust. You can't trust an old woman. Any old woman ever. Not trustworthy. But a demon you find in a bottle that definitely tries to eat
I'm
you.
trying to tell you what I found
You can
under
trust
the leaves
him.
at the base of this oak tree.
I'm getting mad, son, and you're trying my patience. If you're tired and don't want to work, sit down.
All our money problems will be over with this magic cloth.
This is a very special magical cloth. Rub it on any sort of metal, and that metal will be instantly turned into silver.
I love when we get flashbacks to 60 seconds ago.
Let's work some magic. I've been tricked. That spirit lied about this cloth. Oh, phooey. This axe sure got heavy all of a sudden.
Maybe that axe is too heavy for you. You should have stayed here instead of prowling the forest. My experience has taught me to always rest after eating a meal.
It's not that I'm tired, it's the axe. It's become so heavy.
Look what you've done. How in the world did that happen? Now I'm going to have to replace this axe. That means no profit today. Work all day and not make one penny? I hope you're satisfied.
I didn't mean it. Is that silver? The spirit told the truth. Now I can pay for a new axe and go back to school. Father, Father, I'll pay to replace the axe. It's my responsibility and I accept it.
Don't be a fool. You don't have any money. Don't worry, I'll find a way to pay for the axe. You just stay out of my way. I've got work to do.
You could finish it tomorrow. Why don't we quit and head back home?
You foolish boy. How can I get the money to pay for the axe? Unless I go on working. I know what I have to do. Even if you don't, I know all about trees.
Oh, thank you for the...
And money doesn't grow on them.
But this is my first time
That's
so
a quick
deep in the
ban, Bella
forest.
Bunny, thank
What
you.
if I lost my way? I could get hurt. And besides, Father, you should be taking it much slower. Remember, you're not as young as you used to be.
You know, I think you've got a point there, son. Let's go home.
Everyone is so easily convinced in this story.
Father, I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to try to sell the axe to someone in town.
You won't get much for that thing. I can't imagine there's going to be much of a market for a bent axe, but you get the best price you can, whatever it is. It'll help.
Don't worry, I'll do fine. Bye.
Don't be ridiculous. This is a jewelry store, not a pawn shop. What use would I have for an old axe? Look here, don't be so stupid. You look like an intelligent young man, so why don't you take this piece of junk somewhere else and stop wasting my time?
If you take a closer look, I'm sure you'll want to buy it.
I'll say one thing for you, you're persistent, but I simply have no use for a piece of junk like that.
But it's silver.
Huh?
See?
Oh, my. Well, it certainly looks like the real thing.
Yes, that's right. This axe is made of pure silver, but if you don't want it...
No, wait a second, wait. Don't be so bullheaded. Why don't I put it on the scale? I'm sure we can come to some kind of an agreement. We'll just put the silver there, and we place the counterweight here, and it looks like it weighs about 8 kilograms. Yes, 8 kilograms exactly.
Hey.
Kilograms hadn't been invented yet. What you talking about, kilograms?
Father, come out here! See what I've brought you.
Where did you get all those things, my boy?
I sold the axe for a very good price, and there's enough left over for the neighbor to buy a brand new one.
I simply can't believe that anyone would pay that much for an old axe. Now we have enough money to pay for your education, and you can be a doctor.
Yes, Father, but now there's no hurry.
What's that? But that's what you've wanted to be all of your life.
Perhaps I'll do that someday, but now I don't have to go to school in order to make money.
Ah, so the true villain of the story is idleness.
Unless you go to work.
I'll show you.
The demon didn't have to eat the boy.
What do you need the axe for? What's going on?
Just keep watching.
Careful, Frederick. That's my only axe. Are you out of your mind? That axe is the only way I have to make a living, and now you've ruined it.
Yes, but take a closer look, Father, and tell me if it hasn't become
You're really
silver.
just gonna tank the value of silver in this town.
I can't believe my eyes.
You see, I can turn any metal into pure silver, thanks to this magical cloth I found. Understand? So I don't have to have an education to learn how to make a living.
This is a great
We
lesson.
can live in luxury, and neither of us will
On
ever
inflation.
have to work again.
That's selfish. I want you to go to school to become a doctor and help others, not yourself.
Why turn your back on good fortune?
And it's
Here, I'll show you how
a
it
Brothers
works.
Grimm tale. The Germans really could have used
Now, how
some,
can you call that selfish? I haven't taken anything
stories
from
about the
anyone.
dangers of inflation.
Now turn this axe back into steel at once, Frederick. I can't cut down any trees with this.
Father, you don't have to chop down trees now. We're rich.
Nonsense. I've been a woodcutter all my life and will continue to be one. I need to borrow one of these.
Wait, Father, where are you going?
Since you've ruined my only axe, I'll have to go and buy another one.
Oh, he'll come around. It's time for me to get busy and do a little dusting.
Kid, you still need to, like, eat.
A
still
pleasure
need
doing
plates.
business with you. It's not often I get to see the real thing.
I'll have more in no time.
Of course. See you soon.
You're just making the jeweler in town
I
rich.
hope you don't mind keeping the change.
Hey, that's real low! Out of my way! Hurry,
Okay, now he's an asshole.
This is fun!
Being rich immediately makes you an asshole.
Huh? Father? I thought you were going out to buy yourself a new axe, but instead you bought a used one and now you have to spend your evening sharpening it. Why'd you do that?
I've told you I need a sharp axe to do my work.
That's true, but we're wealthy now and you can have as many new axes as you want. Just say the word and I'll go buy them for you. Take a look at what I've brought you. A new shirt and some new boots of excellent quality. I know it gets awfully cold out there in the woods, and these are guaranteed to keep you warm.
Huh? I don't need any new clothes. I'm afraid you'll have to return them.
You know, I don't understand your attitude at all, Father. What's wrong with being wealthy? Oh, all I'm trying to do is make us comfortable, but you're treating me like some sort of a criminal. I'm trying to help.
Yes, you're trying to help, but you're doing it the wrong way. You depend on that cloth for everything. Throw it away.
No! As long as we have that cloth, we can live in luxury forever.
One way or another, you'll pay a price for that cloth. You can't get something for nothing. Life doesn't work that way.
Does for me.
Frederick!
This sure is fun, isn't it?
I mean, pre-industrial logging was probably not probably fairly sustainable due to the supply versus demand curve being pretty manageable.
Oh no! What's wrong? Are you injured?
Don't worry, I'll be all right. I've just been working too hard, that's all. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know.
It's taken to the doctor. But surprise, all of the doctor's surgical instruments have been turned into silver.
Life is a ball
so his
when
father
you've got
dies.
lots of money, buddy, 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 buddy.
Is this child an alcoholic now?
Whoops. Wee, Father!
He's definitely drunk.
Father, what's wrong? Father, what's the matter? Are you sick?
I'm afraid this is goodbye.
Don't say that. All you need is a doctor. I'll find you the best there is. The very best that money can buy.
I don't need a doctor.
Huh?
I'm too far gone for that.
Stop that. All you need is a doctor and then you'll be just fine.
Yeah.
No, son. All I want is one final wish. Will you grant it to me?
I promise I'll do whatever you ask.
The cloth. Throw it away, son. You must promise me. You must learn to depend on yourself alone. Only then can you become a man of honor, son.
Yeah, he is a little... It is a little odd how firmly committed he is to his ideals that he's worked himself to death instead of just trying to teach his son how to be a responsible
I promise I'll throw it away.
rich person.
I can't stand it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry,
The next day, Frederick sat in front of the fire, determined to do his father's bidding. But as he remembered the wonderful things the magic cloth had brought him, his resolve began to weaken.
Oh, aren't you wonderful?
I'd be a fool to throw this magic cloth away. Ah! Ah! Oh no! My magic cloth has been destroyed!
The cloth was allergic to fire.
Oh, I want my magic cloth. Oh! I want my magic cloth! Give it back! I must talk to the spirit and have him give me another magic cloth. I must have another one. here someplace. Oh, this is the place!
Now listen, son, being a woodcutter involves a lot of hard work, harder than you might imagine.
I know, Father, but I'll work hard, and when I'm older, I'll go to school and learn how to be a doctor and make a good living. Then you won't have to work anymore.
Well, son, I'm really looking forward to that day.
Come along, it's story time. That was a great story about the ills of greed. Greed only begets more greed. You get trapped in the bottle of capitalism, you'll have no choice but to trap someone else in your place. You treat life like it's zero-sum game. Someone always has to lose. All right, that was a great tape, man. I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with that one. This was sent in by Kiwi Lee Scipio and nominated for our viewing in today's Democracy stream by Kiwi Lee. Thank you very much for that. I enjoyed that a lot. I had seen snippets of... I don't know if I have the video clip. It's basically become Thomas's at this point. But the frog that says, "I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming," the frog is from a tape of that show that I had laying around at one point. But that was basically my only exposure to this show until this tape. So, we have these two tapes that were previously nominated. If you weren't here at the beginning, this is a democracy-only stream. So you get to decide what we watch, and you get to decide if and when we hit the bricks. So we had Amazing Birds of America and Reader's Digest Journey of a Lifetime, Australia to the Americas, two 60-minute educational programs. We also have another 60-minute educational program of a different kind, which was nominated by Jacebook. And that's going to be... what? Oh, buttons. That's going to be Beginning Guitar with Will Schmid from Hal Leonard, the people that brought us Brazilian drums. This is from 1986. Great vintage here. Will Schmidt, one of the world's leading guitar teachers and authors, gives you great songs such as Every Breath You Take and Mull of Kintyre. Professional quality 60-minute video, on-screen music, and guitar diagrams. So this is going to be our third contender now. It's been nominated officially. So I'm going to make a poll. Please, participate in the poll. Whatever you think would be a good tape to watch next, it's either going to be Amazing Birds, Australia to Americas, or Beginning Guitar. Poll is live now. Get your votes in. We can travel, we can see birds, or we can learn to play the guitar in 1986. Let's take a look at this poll. Oh, Amazing Birds is in the lead. Amazing Birds featuring Steve Myslowski. Get your vote. Get your predictions in for what you think Steve sounds like. I'm really hoping that he is from the Chicago area. Portions of this program were compiled from Birds, Birds, Birds. This is also new enough that there's a URL. www.questar1, the number 1.com. Amazing Birds has won. So I'm going to get this in the VCR. And we'll see what we're in for with the Questar's Amazing Birds. This is from 1999 and was sent in by Green Day Rock. Oh boy. That's a great image. I'm so glad you've enjoyed Spirit of Nature. I was thrilled to upload it. I've listened to it quite a few times myself. So let's see here. Over 150 species of birds, so close you'll practically touch them. Amazing Birds of America introduces you to over 150 different species that dot the North American landscape. From swallows and meadowlarks to woodpeckers and pheasants, you'll see a bald eagle soar majestically above the frozen Mississippi River hunting for food, loons floating peacefully on a tranquil lake, and a barred owl rotating its head some 270 degrees, among many other breathtaking sights. Renowned filmmaker and bird expert Steve Myslowski captures these extraordinary creatures, many in close-up, allowing you to see even their tiniest details. You'll travel from the barren Alaskan tundra to the deserts of the Southwest and learn many fascinating bird facts along the way. Whether you're an avid bird watcher or just curious to know more about our fine feathered friends, step now into this remarkable world of majestic birds and see them as you never have before. You're going to see at least 150 individual birds. Finley was our fish name. What's our bird name? Sunny. Of course it's Sunny. I want to meet Steve Myslowski. Yeah, there were at least like 5 birds in that shot. We're getting up to 150 real quick.
Birds show us a rainbow of feathers.
Oh, Steve.
A pageant of beauty.
The Baltimore Oriole.
A spectacle of design. Birds also give us daily views of nature's quest for survival, of finding food, finding mates, and fighting rivals. Birds even do things that are unexpected, unaccountable, and out of character. And birds often take leading roles in dramas of life and death. Birds show us firsthand a full spectrum of the secrets, laws, and joys of nature.
What a great poll. We have tied 4-4.
Birds add their colorful, noisy, busy ways to our lives almost any time and any place. Birds, as a group, stay active from sunrise to sunset and on through the night. And birds live everywhere, from cactus-studded deserts to wind-blown tundras.
Yeah, they're queued up on the stream so that they only show up one at a time. They wait their turn to appear.
As a form of life, birds are
But
at
they
least
just
as
get posted
adaptable
to
as
Discord
humans
right away.
and probably comfortably occupy a greater range of environments. Some of these environments include very attractive settings and great places to visit. Birds live at the beach and in the mountains and in all sorts of places people like to go.
Are y'all ready to relax with birds? I will be around. But I'm gonna go off camera for a bit. Maybe go get another. Iowa's not a bird. Maybe go get another cup of coffee.
It's been said birds are so widespread that if you stand outside for 10 minutes virtually anywhere on the continent during daylight hours, you will hear or see a bird.
150 birds. An estimated 150 species of birds have existed since the Jurassic period.
Still, a bird at hand may be worth much more than two in the bushes on the far side of the continent. We can often as not see birds through the kitchen window, from the back porch, and by the storage shed. It seems many kinds of birds have a remarkable ability to carry on right next to us, accepting buildings and other works of man as part of their habitat. Chimney swifts, which look like flying cigars, once used hollowed trees for nesting and roosting. Today, old chimneys provide an abundance of suitable living quarters. Fortunately, the swifts migrate for winter and don't need the chimneys when we do. The population of chimney swifts now probably exceeds that which existed before Columbus arrived. Urban dwellers include some impressive species. Certain falcons use tall buildings in cities for nesting. Showing surprising tolerance, even our national symbol is a common sight in several waterfront urban areas. As they soar effortlessly on chilling winds, these urban falcons and eagles seem blissfully ignorant of the myriad of human schemes, dreams, and sorrows below. For winter-weary people of north-central states along the Mississippi River, eagles add a surprising touch to the winter-stilled waterway. The eagles are driven south by ice until they find an open fishing hole. Often as not, the first suitable place is the warm water discharge of a power plant or below a dam where strong release water currents resist freezing. Eagles can gather in such places by the dozens. Shad and other fish passing through the dam may be stunned by violent currents and to make easy pickings for crowds of too hungry to be proud birds, which some people dub baldy gulls. Whatever the circumstances, close-up views of huge, powerful birds with intense eyes add another dimension to skies and a river perhaps too often filled with just ice and snow. Nobody knows how many individual birds inhabit the continent. Estimates of the avian population north of Mexico in summer range from 5 billion to 20 billion individuals. One conservative calculation of our bird population says we have, on the average, about 3 birds per acre for the entire continent north of Mexico. No other form of vertebrate in the world except fish is so varied and abundant. It's plain to see that while all birds wear feathers, they don't all dress alike. Birds seem to wear every style and color of garment in the closet. Many species sport bright solids. Others have somber hues. Bold patches of color are popular too, yet so are soft, intricate patterns. Still other birds wear accents of bright color like fashion jewelry. The need to be noticed for courtship and the need to not be seen while nesting help account for the diversity of plumage. Still, like trends of fashion, the attire of birds sometimes can be hard to explain. Altogether, over 700 different species regularly occur in the U.S. and Canada. Learning who wears what can be a significant challenge. However, it is not an overwhelming one. Even people who claim to not care at all about birds may be surprised by the number they can identify. While there's no need to identify a bird to enjoy it, naming species seems to go hand in hand with birdwatching. It's like knowing the players on the team you root for at a baseball game. A name provides a handy place to mentally file information, whether it is a batting average or a food preference. This file of knowledge rewarding in itself, can lead to even more rewarding endeavors, such as friendly discussions, I told you so bragging rights, or maybe just a nice bit of wisdom to tell the kids. Many people who know birds begin their education with a curiosity about species common in the neighborhood. As these are sorted out, the novices usually learn some simple but important steps to identification. For example, they begin to look at not only the size, but also the shape of birds. This basic information narrows the field of possible species considerably. The contour of hawks is different from woodpeckers, which are slimmer, especially around the neck. With a bit of experience, birders soon recognize their avian neighbors by the curve of the bill, the width of the wings, or the length of the tail. Then other characteristics, such as behavior like flicking of the wings and markings, such as eye rings, begin to stand out like street signs on the road to accurate identification. To help in identification, there are a number of popular, easy-to-use field guides. However, these field guides present a paradox for beginners. A bird watcher needs at least a general knowledge about birds in order to look in the right section of the book, let alone at the right page and right species. But with patience and persistence, the shape of shorebirds, the plumages of gulls, and the streaks of sparrows can be tamed, and the initial wild confusion gives way to an orderly familiarity. Of course, not all people who enjoy birds bother with a field guide. The truth about birds may be that the name is not nearly as important as the fact that the bird was bright red on a snowy day or climbed down a tree head first. And sometimes it's hard to not watch a bird. Some people consider watching birds a numbers game. They try to see as many species as possible. Every new kind of bird is a milestone, a feather in the cap. A few of these so-called listers have North American checklists of over 750 species. They have seen virtually every kind of bird normally found above Mexico, plus a number of strays that have wandered across the border or across the seas from another continent. Listing all these birds makes for quite a wild goose chase. Many species have a very limited distribution, at least in North America. This one, for example, is basically a bird of Central and South America. But in a few special places, its range bumps up into the southwestern United States. If you want to see it, you have to go there. For truly lengthy lists, birders have to crisscross the continent region by region, habitat by habitat. There is no other way to find lots of species. Of course, birders wouldn't have it any other way either. Even being in the right habitat guarantees nothing. A bird in the bush can be harder to find than a needle in a haystack through the lens of a telescope. Avid birders have improvised dozens of variations on keeping checklists.
I see it.
Checklists may be compiled for just 1 year. 500 different species in 52 weeks is in the big leagues. Checklists may be kept for just 1 day. Some birders keep records of birds they see in their yard, or from their office window, or car, or even their airplane. Any view will do. Compiling lists is but a small part of learning about the world of birds. Birds do all sorts of things we can see and enjoy. Small birds have body temperatures approaching 110 degrees Fahrenheit and average heart rates of over 300 beats per minute and live at a white heat pace. Energy at times just bursts from them in spasms of activity. Consider the bird's sounds of spring. A non-stop stream of chips, calls, scolds, hoots, squalls, and other noises. Perhaps only politicians and talk show hosts vocalize more. These sounds are a big help to birdwatchers, especially in areas with dense vegetation. Songs and calls penetrate thickets and give knowledgeable listeners Superman X-ray-like vision of what's there. Some expert birders claim to find 75% of their birds by ear. How do birdwatchers learn to name that tune? Mostly through experience, like seeing a species sing, or by learning from a field companion. Audio tapes and compact discs can help too, especially if your sense of music is a little flat. Bird songs are like flowers for the ears. Even the dourest souls can enjoy the sounds of wrens, robins, and doves brightening their yard. In spring, the ambient chorus turns the whole neighborhood into a glorious concert hall. Not all avian performers sing vocals. Some provide rhythm. Rhythm variations come from woodpeckers. They find a tree with just the right resonance and hit it like a bongo. The variety of habits among birds raises some questions. What prompts them to behave so? We can talk in terms of competition and environmental factors and get a lot of reasonable answers. Still, a lot of behavior can't be totally quantified, and a lot of information about birds will forever remain hidden under feathers.
How are we enjoying birds? Oh my God, this bird is dancing.
The diversity of avian rituals goes on and on. This plump, bandy-legged character with a stutter step likes to perform with the lights down, but he doesn't want it too dark either. At twilight, both morning and evening, in early spring, he visits a favorite bit of ground in an opening surrounded by thickets. Here he serenades with a nasal twang, and then flies into the darkening sky, spiraling up a couple of hundred feet until he's a mere speck about the size of a star.
If I were outside and I heard that noise, I would assume it was a frog.
On the way up, special wing feathers produce a lovely twittering sound.
Also, if I saw that flying in the sky, I would assume it was a bat.
On the way down, air rushing through the feathers makes chirps that birdwatchers have compared to the laugh of angels. Once in a while, the question about bird activities becomes how to deal with them. Some woodpeckers drum on gutters and chimney flashing. Even ardent birders may not welcome this annoying racket at sunrise. When avian problems crop up, the local bird watcher automatically becomes the local bird brains. Concerned or irritated neighbors might ask what to do with baby birds that have fallen from nests, when to take down the hummingbird feeder in fall, or how to stop that crazy thing from beating against the car's mirror.
Aw, buddy. Woody, period.
Well over half of North America's species migrates to escape winter hardships. In fact, of the more than 200 species nesting in Michigan, a typical northern state, only 20 are totally non-migratory. The majority of winter travelers drift south only a couple of hundred miles or so to escape the harshest
Is
cold
Michigan a
and
typical
deepest
northern
snow. Others fly huge distances,
guess it's
spanning
pretty
hemispheres.
typical. What's the most typical
At least 100
northern state?
species nesting in the U.S. leave the country altogether. Favorite wintering grounds include the neotropics.
Like
Neotropical places are warm,
Vermont,
pleasant,
Wisconsin.
and within a reasonable distance.
Between Minnesota,
A little bird
Wisconsin, and
flying
Michigan, which
an
is more
average
typical?
of 50 miles a day can
More
reach a
typically
comfortable
northern state.
haven in a few weeks. If feeling hurried and helped by tailwinds, a songbird can cover a few hundred miles non-stop. For serious bird watching, the spring and fall migration seasons provide the biggest, busiest, and most exhausting times
Wisconsin
of the year.
is
Almost
typical in some
every
ways, but
day of
atypical
every
in
week
how
dawns with the promise of new
how
arrivals.
normalized alcoholism is there, I think.
A birder might see
That seems
more
like a uniquely
species in
Wisconsin
just a
thing.
few outings at the peak of migration than during all the rest of the year
and meat
put
raffles.
together.
Drunk driving and taking home
Waterfowl
meat that's been sitting out on a
usually lead
table all day.
spring's northward flight, reaching northern lands early enough to be among the first signs of spring. Birders welcome the variety to their winter diet. On raw, still bleak days, ducks, geese, and swans present a bounty of grace and beauty. Many people simply go to a nearby wildlife refuge to feast on the show of wings at sunset.
Oh yeah, the fairy tales were great and very exciting. Hopefully that'll survive the VOD. We're now on to birds, which is, we're bringing it into a more chill,
As new
relaxed
leaves
hour of
burst
programming
forth,
here.
migrant songbird numbers swell. Included will be many up from the neotropics, some just passing by, and others staking a claim for the nesting season.
Sometimes I
Avian
start
diversity
feeling
now increases
a
dramatically
little burnt
from
out
winter.
and a little self-conscious about like, oh no, I have to make the streams exciting.
All the new bird faces help spring smile warmly
But then
over
I
the
remember,
countryside.
I'm really just here to get rid of these videotapes. I'm really not. I don't want to try and manufacture any kind of energy. Thank you. I appreciate the reassurance. We're a little over halfway through the bird tape. As a reminder, if someone calls for a hit the
Spring
bricks poll and
migration
someone else
perhaps
seconds
saves
it,
the best for last.
then we can run a poll.
The waves of warblers flitting
done
through
with birds.
woodlands in May have no equal for color, sound, and identification challenges. In a span of a few weeks, millions upon millions of the brightly feathered little dynamos
I feel like it's
swarm
natural
up
that
the continent.
people might feel self-conscious about calling to hit the bricks.
On their way, they fly by night in loose-knit flocks, and then by day comb the woods for caterpillars and other insects.
It's just calling for a poll, and then the poll will decide it. So you don't have to feel
The
bad if
striking
you're
plumages
not
are
feeling something and
candy
you want
for
to
the
just
eyes.
see if people want to move on.
You can see the birds. Warblers rarely sit still and often haunt the highest branches of the tallest trees.
Yeah, I mean, the hangout.
Fortunately, the males often sing on their way north.
The hangout
giving
style
away their
of
presence.
Twitch streaming is the thing that appeals to me most about Twitch.
Ironically, very few
So I
warblers
suppose I should
warble
feel no
or
shame
even
about
sing well.
trying to create
They
that
make
kind
a
of vibe
wide
myself.
range of sounds, including
or
buzzes,
embrace that kind of vibe.
trills, rasps, and wheezes. We have come a long way in understanding migration since ancient Greeks theorized that birds buried into mud for winter. Still, many questions remain unanswered. But the birds themselves will always answer the timeless call to travel. And people attuned to the out-of-doors will always mark the passing of the seasons by them.
To build a nest, some birds must pull, tuck, turn, compress, fluff, insert, and loop. It's my favorite, the sequel to Bop It. Pull it, tuck it, turn it, compress it, fluff it, insert it, loop it.
spring migration ends at a nest. Instincts which guided a migrant to and from new lands now lead the bird step by step through a complex process of using the right materials in the right way to build just the right nursery. With just a few exceptions, every species of bird must tend a nest.
Wait, is that... Wasn't Big Bird in China?
The nests of predators
Wasn't there
have a special
young
aura
girl that
about them.
became friends with Big Bird?
Here's the birthplace and nursery of power, grace, fierceness, aggression. Raptors, hawks and owls, are nature's enforcers.
Oh, tiny little mouse. Look at him dangle.
To some people, raptors are the only kind of bird to watch. Many bird enthusiasts specialize in select groups such as shorebirds, warblers, or hawks and owls. Tastes in birds are as varied as tastes in art.
I liked birds as a kid. I had a pet cockatiel. But I found when I
The singing songbird,
had to
the
do
migrating
ornithology
duck,
stuff
the hunting hawk
for science,
are only part
science
of
class
bird's
and
appeal.
science extracurriculars. Like
Birds are also strands of a long,
you can like
intricate
birds and
web
hate
of
ornithology.
life. By watching birds, we can get a
Cataloging
sense of the web's
birds
texture,
and
its
identifying
strength,
birds is just not
its
that fun to
balance
me.
and design. This can provide an antidote to the stress of urban life, where offices, traffic, telephones, and TVs are so remote from the verities of the natural
I do
world.
get the love of bird watching.
An
and,
observer of birds can feel like a strand of nature's web once again.
the way of, as a way of getting out of the routine and having a hobby that takes you out in nature. I think that's great. I just don't need birds as a hobby to get me out of nature.
To join the web on a daily basis, many people put out around their homes special welcomes for birds and other wildlife. For example, some homeowners landscape with food and cover.
Yeah,
They
I am.
paint the canvas of their property
I
with
think I-
flowers, shrubs, and trees.
Oh man. So for one, you can still see my reflection in the VCR.
For the wild community.
But yeah, I'm basically a VTuber.
They make new shelter,
who is
add
my
to the
persona
food
is a
chain,
VCR.
and multiply
Right.
biodiversity.
I could put googly eyes on
bouquet
there.
of flowers
I've always
from
wanted to make
served
like an
birds,
Arduino that I
butterflies,
programmed with
and
the infrared
earthworms
signal
beneath
from the
ground,
remote,
all the while
so I could
enhancing the
programmatically
yard as a
control the
place to
VCR.
see, a place to be.
But I also now want to make an Arduino that controls googly eyes with lights behind them that light up like a VU meter when I talk.
Landscaping can be targeted for certain kinds of birds, such as hummingbirds. A hummingbird garden may be as bright and cheerful as any in the neighborhood. The birds themselves can rival the flowers. The feathers of males, especially around the head and throat, splinter rays of light into greens, purples, and reds of iridescent brilliance. Light must strike the feathers just so, otherwise the feathers look dark. Males know which way to face to best show off their feathers to an audience, especially the feathers in the throat patch called a gorget. Naturally, the favored audience has a female in it.
I love that they're just superimposing bird facts.
Females are slightly larger than males, undoubtedly because of the demands of motherhood. Still, the females are not very big, A typical female hummingbird weighs around 4 grams. Hummingbirds, along with shrews, are near the practical limit of size for warm-blooded animal life. While notably fast sprinters for short flights from flower to flower, some hummingbirds have remarkable long-distance capabilities. One species regularly migrates from southern Mexico to as far north as Alaska. The only species normally found east of the Mississippi makes an amazing 600-mile non-stop flight across the Gulf of Mexico. Weight Watchers might be envious that one day of exercise can reduce body weight by 30%. A combination of gardens and feeders can generate wonderful crowds of hummers.
We had that exact feeder when I was
Sometimes
a
as
kid.
you watch these birds gulp sugar water all day long, you might wonder why their beaks don't get cavities.
I have never wondered that, but that's a good point. Anyway, moving on.
In summer, while your garden grows, so do baby hummingbirds.
They're really not going to explain anything about bird dentistry to us.
A hummingbird nest is typically made of a witch's cauldron of ingredients, including lichens, plant down, and spider webs. In it, 2 young hatch from pea-sized eggs, and as they get larger, the nest stretches. The young hummingbirds are fuel injected. Then it's back to the flowers for another meal. The benefits of landscaping can reach around the calendar. The flowers of dogwoods or hawthorns gracing the yard in spring eventually become fruit. The red berries may sit untouched for most of the winter and even fall to the ground. But then, some critical day, the birds will come to harvest the crop. Not everybody is handy with a shovel or trowel. Some people are better with a saw and hammer or a credit card and build or buy nest boxes. At least 35
That's real handy
species
with a credit card.
frequently use man-made structures for nesting. For best results, the structure should be designed for the targeted species. For example, the eastern phoebe won't go inside a box, but welcomes a simple sheltered platform. Put it on the back porch if you want company while reading the morning paper in spring. For those who want lots of company, there are purple martins. Man has welcomed martins since Indians put up nesting gourds around their stored meat so the birds could help control flies. A few families can be attracted with very little effort. But an apartment complex like this takes some doing. Baby martins stay in the nest box about 4 weeks. Only males, at least 2 years old, have the namesake shiny blue-black plumage. Oversized boxes appeal to wood ducks, kestrels, and screech owls. These house cats with wings aren't always popular with everybody, but the screech owl has his own enemies too, such as
so
bigger
angry.
owls. Sometimes bird boxes are used year-round for roosting. One of the leading conservation phenomena of recent decades has been the surge in winter bird feeding.
Oh my God, that's a great hybrid.
It's estimated that 1 out of 4 households puts out food for the birds. Nationwide, over 1 billion pounds of seed is sold annually. That's enough sunflowers, millet, cracked corn, and other grains to fill a train 50 miles long. On cold winter days, a bird may need 20% of its body weight in food just to stay warm. We humans receive rewards from the feeders day in and day out. We see color and activity and become integral participants in building a web of nature into our living space. Across much of the continent, a modest feeding station offering some seeds and suet can attract in winter well over a dozen species on a daily basis. Feeding stations can draw birds in spring and summer, too. The ranks of those who look at birds include some people equipped with more than binoculars and bird seed. Some carry shotguns. Hunting may not be for everyone today, but it is a tradition as old as mankind. A fortunate select few birdwatchers become professionals at the sport. Ornithologists and researchers investigate the effects of oil spills on seabird reproduction in Alaska and 1,000 other aspects of avian life.
That's just a fish
Books,
with wings.
Reports and technical journals on birds can fill libraries where you might learn what roles reptiles play in avian diets in southern states, or how often birds take a bath.
I love these little musical interludes. They're orchestrating the bird.
The demand for yet more information
Frolicking.
is still strong. Today, we often use birds as a special barometer of the quality of the environment. Because birds are so visible, they are relatively easy to monitor. Because they live at such a fast pace, they reflect changes and problems quickly. This became clear a few decades ago in a classic case that will surely be recorded in scientific history. Rachel Carson protested about the hazards of new, powerful, man-made pesticides in her book, Silent Spring, and shortly thereafter, bald eagles, peregrine falcons, and others neared extinction because of the toxins. This helped launch a revolution in attitude and activity concerning the environment. Bird science, however, is not limited to professionals. Ornithology is one of the few sciences where amateurs still make significant contributions. Large-scale volunteer censuses, such as the Audubon Christmas bird count, the Spring Breeding Bird Survey, and Feeder Watch, provide invaluable data.
One of my
Individual
favorite
contributions
albums of
from
the past few
banding
years
studies,
is called The
rare
Lost
bird
Birds,
sightings, and
an extinction
behavioral
elegy.
observations have added
It's
immensely
an
to
orchestral
avian
and
knowledge.
choir composition by Christopher Tin, the guy that did, among other things, Baba Yetu, the song from Civilization 4. Baba
Taken
Yetu,
in
Yetu,
total,
Yetu,
the world of birds offers a vast
Anyway, he
adventure,
made this album about
enjoyed leisurely
birds.
by millions, and pursued
Takes like
enthusiastically by
Emily
millions
Dickinson
more.
and other poets
People count birds,
and sets their
feed
poetry about birds
photograph
to music
study them, and
as sort of
often
an elegy for like
marvel
what
at
we
these
have done
flying
to
animals
birds.
sharing our world.
And it's a really fantastic album. The Lost Birds.
Bird watching is not an escape from reality, but a doorway back to it. We get closer to nature's web again. We can also enjoy a bit of ourselves in birds. Like
Morning,
us,
Joshy D.
birds are preoccupied with survival.
We're birding.
And like us, they sometimes
almost
have
done
to
birding.
bumble through the uncharted course of life, which is fraught with failures and pitfalls.
Yeah, we can do another. So our two nominees have been Reader's Digest Journey of a Lifetime, Australia to the Americas, and from 1986, Beginning Guitar with Will Schmid. If there's another one somebody wants to nominate, go for it. We can do another poll after this. We are embracing democracy today.
But with persistence, our mousetrap works often enough to get us by.
Ta-da.
Still, some of us will always be prone to harebrained tangents, while others naturally have better instincts. And at times, no matter how frenetic we get, the pieces of the puzzle just won't fit. Maybe then it's time to watch birds once more. Take time out. Relax. For the birds, relaxing is vital to survival. And that's what bird watching is about too. Relaxing. Recharging energy and spirit with beauty from nature, while letting time drift by.
Okay. I've made a poll for the next tape. It's going to be Reader's Digest, Australia to America, Beginning Guitar, Great American Rail Journeys, The Rockies by Rail, or Mighty Machines at the construction site. We still have Mighty Machines we haven't watched. It's our last of 5. Nearly 10,000 species of birds have been identified worldwide. Field guides to bird identification are usually arranged from the most primitive species, loons, take that Canadians, to the most recently evolved sparrows and buntings. I didn't know that loons were dinosaurs. Songbirds are these extra bird facts that they just tacked on to the end? Fun fact, the cardinal represents 7 states, the most of any species. Fun fact, an Arctic tern may migrate 22,000 miles in a year. Fun fact, birds with an exposed nest, such as terns and killdeer, often must cool eggs by shading them from the hot sun. Fun fact, loons evolved more than 70 million years ago. I love how they ran out of program and so just decided to put in several minutes of bird facts at the end. What the hell is that bird? Crossbills may nest in January, even in Canada. There was once a scandalous romance between 2 robins and 2 cardinals who raised 7 young birds together. Most birds suck at smelling, but the turkey vulture can smell. Reader's Digest, Journey of a Lifetime, Australia to the Americas has won our poll. This is another educational film, I guess, but it's got a lot of variety. It's from 2002, so fairly recent, as far as VHS content goes. Gee, feathers are not the heaviest part of the bird. What a revelation. A 2-ton nest? Jeez. Those were indeed some thrilling bird facts. I like this music. It's kind of out there. It's been kind of out there on this tape. This is getting a little baroque. Australia to the Americas. Famous Australian symbol. Has won the poll. Well, what did we learn about birds? I learned that there are over 150 species of birds, and I learned quite a few fun facts about our feathered friends. Their feathers are light, their nests are heavy. Next tape, Journey of a Lifetime. So we're going to visit Australia, Hawaii, California/Arizona, the Republic of New England, and New York Christmas. Travel over land, air, and sea in the most exciting ways possible to experience the Earth's most spectacular places at their most enchanting moments in one incredible year-long journey. Here are some of the wonders you are about to experience on your journey of a lifetime, from the ocean depths to the American dream, and then right back to the ocean depths. Australia. Dive deep into the waters of the Pacific Ocean just in time for the dramatic annual spawning on the reef. An astonishing sight. Have I been muted this whole time? That's fun. I was reading the back of the box.
Imagine taking a whole year to travel around the world.
It's fine.
Experiencing its most spectacular places, each at the ideal time of year. It's something many people dream about. But for us, that dream's about to come true. We're on a journey around the planet as thrilling, thought-provoking, and wondrous as the world itself. We're on our way to some of the world's wildest places, some of its most sophisticated ones too. And each we're visiting in exciting ways so that we can experience its beauties to the full. There is no doubt about it. This is our journey of a lifetime. In the final leg of our journey, we explore the wonders of Australia.
God, is Australia really that big?
The Hawaiian Islands and then the Americas. We visit San Francisco, followed by the astonishing Grand Canyon, before heading south to the magical land of Peru. As the year ends, our journey comes to a close in the northeastern United States, Vermont, and New York. But first, Australia. It's September, a cool spring month here in the Antipodes. The perfect time to experience this land of vibrant cities, glowing deserts, and luxuriant coastlines. The final goal of our Australian travels is to witness a remarkable natural event that takes place once a year on the legendary Great Barrier Reef. But before we take in Australia's natural wonders, we're going to take in one of its man-made ones, the city of Sydney. The centerpiece of any trip to Sydney has to be the famous harbour, and we're going to board a very special vessel to take us around it. A replica of the famous 18th century ship, the Bounty. A legendary mutiny, immortalized in Hollywood epics, in fact took place thousands of kilometers away, across the South Pacific, and had nothing whatsoever to do with Australia. But someone here decided that this would be a fun way to see the harbour. So why not? That sense of fun is very typical of Australians. It's one of the real charms of the place. As we climb on board, passing our latter-day Captain Bligh, his crew weigh anchor, and we're away.
Australians do seem fun. I like that we're learning about Australian culture, if only at a surface level.
The first sight we see is the famous Opera House. perhaps the first thing that alerted the rest of the world that Australia was a cultural force to be reckoned with. Commissioned in 1954 as an act of real daring by the city's fathers, they discovered its design was so ambitious and so absolutely original that nobody had the faintest idea how to build it. Nevertheless, they persevered. 15 years later, and 15 times the original budget, the Opera House was finally completed. It was an instant success and immediately became one of the world's most famous buildings and Sydney's most unmistakable landmark. Sydney is a city that revels in the new and futuristic. Perhaps that will not surprise some people who think of Australia as a new world country. After all, Europeans only settled here 200 years ago. Of course, it's been inhabited for millennia, and its landscapes are some of the oldest on the planet. As we travel on into Australia's heartland, we're going to experience the amazing diversity of this country. We're heading right into the centre of Australia, a world that is as harsh as it is beautiful, the legendary outback.
Man, I have not been to an Outback Steakhouse in so many years.
Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, is one of the world's largest monoliths. It rises more than 300 meters out of the central Australian desert and is 550 million years old.
It must be nice to actually live in Australia because you just get to eat bloomin' onions.
All around,
all the time.
As far as the eye can see,
you grow
glowing
up
deserts stretch to the horizon.
Making bloomin' onions for you for every Christmas.
It's a stunning sight. Uluru is one of the most remarkable natural rock formations on Earth, and we've flown here to the very heart of Australia to experience its unique primeval magic. Once here, you realize immediately why the Aboriginal Australians, who first peopled this land over 50,000 years ago, should be so certain this is a sacred place. The rock breathes an aura of mystery. Here the Aboriginals say they feel the dream time, their ancestral spirit world, close at hand. For millennia, Aboriginal Australians have come to these caves to invoke their ancestors and immerse themselves in the dream time. These enigmatic paintings, etched on these walls, are testimony to their profound link with this place. Uluru is one of Australia's most impressive natural wonders. But then there are so many. Many of them are born of the sea and the almost 64,000 kilometres of Australia's coastline. We have travelled almost 1,600 kilometres from Uluru and are flying over the coast of Queensland. 6,400 kilometres of unspoiled tropical shoreline and home to the largest coral reef in the world, the Great Barrier Reef. Before exploring it, we have a chance to observe some of Australia's remarkable wildlife. Australia is in fact the world's largest island. Isolated for eons of time and with few predators, animal species here were free to evolve in their own special way. As a result, Australia's wildlife is unique and the most bizarre on the planet. witness, perhaps, the greatest of Australia's wonders, we have to go back to the beaches of Queensland and dive deep into the Pacific Ocean. As we sink beneath the surface, it looms almost immediately into view. The largest coral reef on the planet, and truly one of the greatest marvels of the natural world, the Great Barrier Reef. Over 2,200 kilometers long, and made up entirely of the bodies of tiny sea creatures called polyps, the Great Barrier Reef supports the most diverse ecosystem known to man.
I'm sorry, we watched Grimm's Fairy Tales earlier, and I alluded to this clip, so I just wanted to, I found it. So.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Great clip, great show.
To swim through its teeming waters is an awe-inspiring experience. But we've come here, specifically at this time, the autumn, to witness a very remarkable event.
I'm glad Thomas has gotten so much use out of that.
They say that the reef is the world's largest living thing, and we're about to get a dramatic demonstration of that. To survive and grow, the reef must reproduce, and it does that every year at this time, when the millions of tiny polyps release their reproductive cells into the water. For a few hours, clouds of eggs fill the warm waters of the Pacific. It's an astonishing sight. It's hard to leave this dreamlike underwater beauty of the reef, but there is another astonishing place in the Pacific Ocean for us to see. Far to the east, our next destination is one of the most dramatic and beautiful places in the world, the Hawaiian Islands. Most people come to Hawaii for its beaches and surf, but we're here for its fire. Our travels through this remote Pacific archipelago will be an amazing journey into geological history. In fact, Hawaii is so remote, it took us humans a long time to discover it. Marooned in the center of the Pacific Ocean, it is over 3,200 kilometers from the nearest land. The first people to arrive here were intrepid Polynesian sailors who crossed the vast expanses of the Pacific in their double-hulled canoes only 1,000 years ago. But we're here to delve into the very special geology of the Hawaiian Islands. Each island is a huge volcano pushed up from the ocean floor by the titanic forces spewing up from the Earth's core. Incredibly, those forces are still at work. While some volcanoes are now extinct, others are cooling down, and still others are about to erupt. We're going to follow the course of that volcanic activity from Old Island to Young Island. We will witness firsthand the awe-inspiring forces which are still creating land from the sea. The first stop is Kauai, the oldest Hawaiian island. A helicopter ride is going to show us the amazing landscape formed by the ancient extinct volcanoes. Our pilot lifts our helicopter off the ground and we head for the center of the island. Kauai was created about 25 million years ago. That may sound like a long time, but in geological terms, it was just yesterday. In the island's center, rising over 1,500 meters above sea level, is the most dramatic vestige of the gigantic eruption that formed it. Mount Waiolioli, which means in Hawaiian, the mountain of overflowing water. It doesn't take us long to see why. This extinct volcano is one of the wettest places on the planet, with an average annual rainfall of 1,270 centimeters a year. Everywhere, water cascades down its lush green slopes. It's a breathtaking sight. From Kauai, we travel to Maui, a younger island, on which the same volcanic forces that formed Kauai have been at work much more recently. As we drive through the volcano's national park, this remarkable landscape of black lava surrounding us is testament to the fiery eruptions which created the island. A walk across the solidified lava, which looks solid but is in fact spongy, is a surprising experience. Even more surprising is to visit one of Maui's amazing lava tubes. Here we can actually walk down the tube, surrounded by the mysterious signs of the molten lava that once spewed through it from the bowels of the earth. But the place to really contemplate the astonishing volcanic forces erupting from the Earth's core is the island of Hawaii. Youngest of all the islands, and the final destination of our journey back in geological time. Here, lava and steam still gush from the bowels of the earth in a continuous explosion of volcanic energy. This is molten rock, heated over 1,000 degrees centigrade. With the ground shuddering and sighing beneath our feet, the sensation of the earth as a titanic living thing is overwhelming. Hawaii's volcanoes are a mesmerizing sight. But it's time to move on and continue our journey eastward far across the Pacific to the shores of North America. It's dawn, and already the first surfers have come down to the beach to test the seas. Just time to ride some waves before going to work. If we didn't know it already, we know it now. This is California. It's the first stop on our epic tour of the Americas, which will take us to the Grand Canyon, then Peru, and back north again to the eastern United States. But first, a taste of that world-famous thing, the California Dream. Our driver and his gleaming 1964 Cadillac convertible are waiting. Time to climb in and head down the beautiful sun-drenched coastline of Northern California to the city where the California Dream started, San Francisco. To get there, we have to cross one of the most famous bridges in the world, the Golden Gate. San Francisco has always been a city of possibilities and wild freedoms. As we drive through the city, we're reminded of them at every turn. In the 1960s, era of rock festivals and love-ins, a whole generation made this city its capital. Here, in the Haight-Ashbury district, you still feel the heady atmosphere of fun and defiant imagination that fed that freedom-loving generation. Long before the 1960s, there was another San Francisco dream, perhaps the most intoxicating of all. Gold. The wild frontier city, built by the gold rush, was destroyed by the famous San Francisco earthquake of 1906. But in its place has been built the gracious city of sunshine and clean sea air that is San Francisco today. To explore San Francisco further, we're going to take a ride in one of the city's famous cable cars. No visit here would be complete without it. For over a century, they've been carrying the people of San Francisco over the steep hills of their gorgeous city. And now, Fanny Barnes, the first woman cable car driver in that long history, is going to take us over those hills too. These indestructible old cable cars were the brainchild of Andrew Halliday, a British inventor who, in 1869, saw a horse that was hauling a loaded cart up one of the city's steep hills slip and be dragged to its death. Appalled, he devised a safer system of transport, and within 8 years, the first San Francisco cable cars were in operation. To this day, the cable cars are a vital part of the city's transport. Perhaps it's the beauty of its bay and coastline. Perhaps it's the movies. But everything about San Francisco seems bathed in a mythical glow. It really is a city of dreams. But as night falls and the moon rises, our visit comes to an end. Our next destination lies far to the southeast of San Francisco and is one of the most dramatic landscapes in the world. Stretched over 5,000 square kilometers of the American Southwest, a breathtaking expanse of chasms and towering stone bluffs. One of the natural wonders of the world, the Grand Canyon. We're here in October, when the baking heat of the canyon floor has cooled. Awaiting us far below is an exciting whitewater rafting trip down the Colorado River. Many people visit the Grand Canyon, and all of them expect to marvel at its grandeur. Few are prepared for how disconcerting this vast landscape can be. So absolutely primeval, and on such a gigantic scale, everything human seems to pale into insignificance beside it. Parts of these canyons are an unimaginable 2 billion years old and were formed long before any living thing existed on Earth. Their haunting desolation leaves a lasting impression. A mule ride is going to take us deeper into the canyon towards the real goal of our visit here. The rapids of the Colorado River, far below. We're retracing the steps of one of the first white men to explore the canyon, John Wesley Powell. In 1869, he wrote the following. August 13th. We are ready to start on our way down the great unknown. We are 3/4 of a mile in the depths of the earth, and the great river shrinks into insignificance. We are but pygmies, lost among the boulders. His words perfectly describe the humbling experience of this vast landscape, and are as true today as when Powell wrote them. The river, of course, is the Colorado. This mighty river courses through the canyon floor. In places, it's carved a mile-deep channel into the ancient rock. Now, its racing waters are going to give us one of the most exciting experiences of our whole journey. A whitewater rafting ride. The Colorado River rises in the Rocky Mountains and flows
More
for
discount
over
Wi-Fi.
2,000 kilometers to the Californian coast. For most of its course, it flows smoothly, but here, its normally placid waters are squeezed between the massive walls of the canyon. And at the same time, it plunges 609 meters downwards. The result is one of the most spectacular rapids anywhere in the world. ride them is an exhilarating experience. Finally, as the water leaves the canyon, it calms down and the serene grandeur of the place engulfs us again. Our visit to the Grand Canyon comes to an end. Ahead of us is our next destination. "5,000 kilometers to the south, a land of towering mountains and dense jungles, Peru. We're going to take a memorable and unusual journey from the high Andes, heartland of one of the world's great civilizations, down into the lowlands and one of the world's last great wildernesses, the Amazon jungle. Our voyage starts in the spectacular citadel built by the Incas at Machu Picchu. Here, the high priests of the Incas paid homage to the mountains, their gods. Around them spread an empire
It's neat to see
stretching
places
3,000
like this
kilometers along the mountain spine of
not
South America,
swarmed with tourists. I imagine it's very difficult to get
all the
that
way from what
experience
is
if you go
today
there
Ecuador
yourself.
to Argentina. The empire is long gone, but the descendants of the Incas still people these mountains. Their language and culture are as alive today as they were 500 years ago. Our Peruvian journey starts in the center of the ancient Inca civilization, but it is going to take us on a journey no Inca could ever have imagined, far beyond the borders of their empire, into the wild lands to the east. We set off in our four-wheel drive down the eastern slopes of the Andes towards the land the Incas called Antisuyu, a place they considered savage, frightening, and uncivilized, the Amazon jungle. As we travel down the eastern slope of the Andes, everywhere water is moving with us, streaming from the snow-capped peaks of the Andes down towards the jungle. The foothills of the Andes make one of the most stupendous landscapes in the world, and we're going to travel through it, following the course of those waters as they head towards the Amazon. As we descend further and further towards the jungle, the heat grows and the vegetation around us becomes more tropical. Before long, the road comes to an end. It's time to switch vehicles and climb aboard the only thing that can take us as deep into the jungle as we want to go. As we take to the skies in our little 5-seater airplane, magnificent vistas of tropical forest unfold beneath us. Here, in the high jungle, the rainforest clambers up the low foothills of the Andes to create a gorgeous landscape of cliffs, racing rivers, and towering escarpments. But as we fly east, the hills diminish, the landscape flattens, and finally, as we approach the line of the last Andean foothills, we see beyond them the vastness of the Amazon jungle, stretching unbroken to the horizon. Many parts of the Amazon basin have been devastated by development. But here, in eastern Peru, the awe-inspiring grandeur of the forest can still be experienced. There is nothing on the planet to equal it. The Amazon is a world shrouded in myth. Most foreigners who visit it decide either that it's a green hell of disease and dangerous animals, or it's an image of paradise itself. But very few get a taste of the surprising reality of the Amazon that we will experience. Our Amazon journey starts in a small ramshackle frontier town, like so many that dot the remoter parts of the jungle. Upon arrival, eager to get a taste of the jungle, we set off with some of the local Indians into the forest. We immediately get a chance to drink in the very special atmosphere of the rainforest.
Oh my God, he's in a Huey. He has a mounted machine gun.
Sounds of a million insects and birds swell from the forest's impenetrable recesses.
The fat capitalist guy from the Mad Max movies,
in which you hear everything.
With the syphilis nipples and the nose.
Because of the profusion of foliage, we see very little.
Well, the syphilis nose and the
By far the best way to explore the jungle and see some of its wildlife is by river. Our guides come to collect us in a boat and take us upriver and into some of the remotest recesses of the rainforest. With them is one of the most important wise men and healers of the Yaminawa tribe. His name is Komoroa. The clothes and haircut may be Western, but he's totally imbued with the traditional world of his ancestors. When we stop at one of the small islands in the river, he tells us something about his life. He is almost 80 and grew up in a world which knew nothing of white men, he says. The meeting with the outside world changed many things, but not the way he and his people think. He feels the spirit world of his ancestors around him as close as ever. His power as a shaman, he is saying, doesn't come from people, but from the forest. Go take a look, he says, and feel the power of the forest for yourselves. It's an invitation we're happy to accept. We set off up one of the main branches of the upper Amazon into one of the last great untouched rainforests on the planet. As we sail upriver, the life of the jungle unfolds around us. Huadzin, bizarre relatives of the cuckoo, clamber through the riverside foliage with their clawed wings. Macaws gather on clay cliffs to lick the salt from the clay. Woolly monkeys swing from tree to tree. The life of the forest seems inexhaustible, but of course it isn't. Every year, an area of rainforest the size of Switzerland is cut down to make way for development. A sobering thought, but all the more reason to relish this island of untouched forest, home not only to Amazonian wildlife, but also to the spirits of the forest that sustain Comaroa and his people.
Luckily, Brazil, in the year since 2002, has become much less corrupt and much friendlier to...
The rainforest shelters not only a large part of the world's natural biodiversity,
or wait,
but also its cultural diversity.
Brazil?
Here live countless possibilities of the human spirit and imagination. As long as there are forests here, Comaroa's cultural heritage and that of other Amazonian Indians will continue to flourish. From the Amazon to Vermont in the far northeast of the United States is a long journey. But we are making it for a good reason. It's October. We are here to witness one of the most spectacular shows nature puts on anywhere in the world. Here, every year, as the cool autumn nights close in and the days shorten, a dazzling riot of color descends on these northern forests. It's a sight not to be missed. And we're going to see it in one of the most privileged and unusual ways. We're on our way to Sugarbush Valley, high in Vermont's Appalachian Mountains, where a very special aircraft is waiting to carry us deeper into this beautiful landscape. But as we drive through the radiant autumnal countryside, there's a chance to see some of the life of Vermont. Vermont is in New England, and New England, it's been written, is the only old civilization of modern America. It isn't a frontier. It's not still being built like America's West. It's finished and complete. Vermont is steeped in history. Its white clapboard towns still breathe the austere but elegant simplicity of the Puritans, who arrived in this part of North America almost 400 years ago. Modern-day Vermonters are proud of their heritage and proud of the unspoiled beauty of their land. Who can blame them? We've come at exactly the right time to savor this beauty at its height. It's the first week of October. The trees are just putting on their autumn coat of colors. A stunning transformation is underway in the landscape. As summer ends and the air cools down, the green chlorophyll in the leaves, pigment which allows the trees to breathe, starts to break down. As it fades, other pigments already in the leaves but hidden for months by the chlorophyll are revealed in all their glory. Xanthocyanins, the same pigment that makes apples red. Carotene, that makes carrots orange. And tannins, that make tea brown. For a few brief weeks in autumn, they too get their glorious moment in the sun. To experience the stunning effect of this to the full, we need to be airborne. As we finally arrive in the Sugarbush Valley, we're looking for the small airstrip where our craft is waiting for us.
A glider.
Our pilot leads us to our glider. Could there be any better way to experience the beauty of Vermont's autumn colors?
I don't know, maybe in a plane with an engine?
As the plane that will pull us into the sky gets into position, the ground manager secures our cockpit, and before long, we're being pulled down the runway. Then it's up into the sky, but still waiting for the moment when we drop the dragline. And finally, we're free, soaring on the winds.
This does look like it would be fun. Flying seems very, very fun, but expensive and time-consuming to get into as a hobby.
The Indians who once lived in these forests, the Iroquois and Abenaki, used to say that at the beginning of time, a celestial hunter went in search of the Great Bear, the constellation we know as the Plough. When he finally shot it with his arrow, the bear's blood cascaded to earth, staining the forest red. And then, as the hunter cooked his kill, the fat of the bear dripped to earth, leaving patches of yellow where they fell.
Yeah, it's some
as we
beautiful
glide
scenery
effortlessly on the mountain winds,
soothing
that
narration.
Native American myth beautifully illuminates the scientific explanation. But finally, it's time to come back to Earth and look forward to our next destination.
Hey, a song? Why, thank you, Jess. I
It's hard
suppose
to
it's
believe that a year
Democracy
and
Stream
our journey
today,
of
right?
a lifetime are almost over.
Should it be a poll? Should we decide
We
collectively
started
what to
almost 12 months ago
jam out
on
to?
New Year's Eve in Paris. And now we're on our way to another great city and its unique New Year's celebrations, which will bring our journey to a close.
Let me survey real quickly and tell you if there's
This
any good
is
songs
New
we have
York,
not
the Big Apple,
added to the list yet.
one of the most vibrant and exciting cities on Earth. There's nowhere else quite like it. New Yorkers aren't famous for their reticence, and since we want to fit right
Yeah,
in,
we're
there's
pulling
only
for a
one way
song
to go
choice.
around here.
This tape will be the last tape for today.
a stretched limo. We're off to see New York in style. As we cross the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan, we can look forward to a memorable night out in the city that never sleeps. New York is a city of big business, but tonight the stock markets are closed, the offices are dark, and the city is on holiday. We've come at the perfect time to enjoy this great city in its New Year's season. It's a great chance to drink in the festive atmosphere and get a glimpse of the legendary window displays of the New York stores.
Okay, so it's either going to be Brazilian drums or, let's say, America's
Thousands
Heroes.
mill around on the streets.
That one's not on the list, but it is watchable.
Meanwhile, uptown at the Rockefeller Plaza, others are taking to the ice beneath the
Full
great
is life
Christmas
for that.
tree.
God, this looks like such a clusterfuck. Ice skating in front of Rockefeller Plaza.
But as the last minutes of the year tick away, we head for a real New Yorker event, which few know about, the New Year's run around Central Park. This is New York at its irreverent, fun-loving best. As the last seconds of the old year tick away, our journey of a lifetime is about to end.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Oh wow, that was. This was only a few months after.
The moment arrives. The runners are.
Or no, this was. They're wearing
the
2001
skies
glasses, so
explode
this
with
means this is pre
fireworks.
9/11. Because it's December 2000.
Our journey is over. We've circled the globe in 1 year
Still a very
and seen so many unforgettable sights. We've experienced some of the amazing beauty and diversity of our planet. What a special perspective a journey like this gives.
America's Heroes, that's one to pull.
Perhaps, like those privileged few who have seen it from space,
One of the few decent kid
we
songs
too
originals.
can better appreciate the true wonder
I mean, decent,
of
I don't
our
know.
world.
Is it decent? We can decide that. Produced by Graham Townsley. Let's see who the narrator was. Oliver Tobias. He did a very serviceable job as a soothing British narrator. He is a Swiss-born, UK-based film, stage, and television actor and director. Huh. He was born in Zurich and came to the UK at 8. He was in the original London cast of Hair. This is some good music. Also, 422 Graphics did the graphics for Eyewitness. Or at least I've seen them in the credits of some other tapes we watched. I guess Brazilian drums lost the poll, but we're getting some very good sax as a consolation prize. JWM Productions. Who the hell are you? Yay! Well, that was Reader's Digest, Journey of a Lifetime, Australia to the Americas. We visited Australia, Hawaii, California / Arizona, New England, and New York Christmas. Thank you so much to all of you for being here today. We've watched 3 tapes, all of them about an hour long, and got some pretty good and varied content today. The fairy tales were excellent. We chilled out with birds. We chilled out with Reader's Digest. Classic travel around the world kind of documentary. And now, to cap it off, courtesy of Jess, thank you, Jess, for your support. It is time for America's Heroes. They will live forever.
Sure. Let's take a look at some of America's heroes. They lived and breathed the American spirit.
Seasons come and seasons go,
but America's heroes will live forever.
When times get rough, all the memories of America's heroes will pull us through together.
Don't trust old women, yes.
All of you are warning that the British were coming, riding through the streets of town. Never a thought of turning and running, he wouldn't let his country down. General George Washington.
I mean, the Brothers Grimm just collected the stories.
Country was to grow. He made it through and he won the day.
Also, fun fact, Jacob Grimm, one of the brothers, was also a linguist.
Seasons come, seasons go,
who came up with the theory of vowel shifts that eventually led to the reconstruction of Proto-Indo-European as the root of many languages.
Davy Crockett on the wild frontier, pushing America west, making it safer.
Hey, Green Day, thank you for gifting 5 subs.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men
and best of luck to you, Green Day, on your the last 4 weeks, I guess. At least rest assured that you don't have to work too hard and can spend most of your time looking for other opportunities. Stick it to the man if you can. Yay, America.
Well, kids, is there anything else you'd like to know about American history?
Yeah, who are the pioneers?
Nope, nothing else. Why did that just pause at the end? Oh, what a perfect time for a hype train as we are ending the stream. Thank you, Will, for the fun fact. Supposedly Mount Rushmore is unfinished, meaning the heads were supposed to... Yeah, there's, like, the sculptor did mock-ups of the actual full design, and it's, like, huge, and... You know, the fact that they were desecrating a sacred site to the Sioux of South Dakota is a real bummer. Like, they could have just made that sculpture, like, out of a block of marble or something and made it not the size of a mountain, but, you know. But yeah, it's a really cool looking design if you see the whole thing. Why is Uncle Sam still on my screen? Get out of here. Cool. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. It's been a fun Monday with you here on Golden VCR. I appreciate you all participating in the democratic process. I'll see you back here on Wednesday. I'm feeling a little burnt out. I don't know. I might want to like go take a hike in the woods on Saturday or something. So I don't know if I'll do Saturday stream, but I'll keep you posted on that. And I will see you again 2 days from now, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, for more Golden VCR. Have a lovely week, everybody. Be kind to yourselves. Enjoy all that life has to offer you.
Stand back.
Good catch. Thank you. Bye, everybody.